Summon Sign is brought to you by you. If you want to learn how to support our show, go to patreon.com/laststandmedia. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 135 of Summon Sign, Last Stand Media's weekly in-depth game discussion podcast. I'm your host, as always, Brad Ellison. Joining me this week, I have Mr. Matty Plays.
Hell yeah.
Matty, great to see you.
Good to see you.
How
as
you
well,
feeling?
Dude. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling jealous, actually, dude. Your beard is fucking awesome.
Oh, man. It's
Yeah.
so itchy. I'm like,
really?
going crazy.
It looks mad good on you, dude. It looks really good. Like your hair and everything, bro. You're styling and profiling right now. But otherwise, feeling pretty good. It's Monday. So back to the old grindstone. Had a nice weekend of just gaming, dude.
Okay.
Like that's just like not an uncommon thing, but there's just some, like, when you get away from that for like 2 weekends in a row, like I did, there's just like things that crop up. It's good just to like settle back in, and that's all I did this weekend. So I'm feeling nice and recharged and ready to tackle this show where we got a fun plan for everyone listening, dude.
Yes, we have lots of fun stuff to talk about. I'm very curious to pick your brain. But yeah, I mean, you're saying how you had kind of time to catch up on games now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, talking about games is our job, but of course there's other responsibilities we have to do. Some random bullshit goes on in your house you got to work with. Something like that.
It was a mixture of everything. For me, it was like we're working on our game project, and because like I do YouTube full time, I'm either doing the game development stuff like what I call after hours, so I'm like working on the game like deep into the night, or on my weekends where I can at least like get up and start at a normal time. And so I'm working extra days in the week, but like you can only do that so many times before you're just like crashing and burning because you're just like going. So it was a combination of that. We celebrated my birthday with my parents like really late. Yeah, my birthday was a month ago, but because I was like traveling to see some friends, and then my brother was traveling, and then I got sick. I didn't get to see my family for my birthday until just this Saturday. So that was a really good time. So just some nice family time as well. So yeah, good things cropping up all about Mr. Matty's life. But yeah, it's been busy. So yeah, it's like we're very lucky to do what we do. So I'm not gonna complain too much. It's like, oh, I didn't get a couple of weekends of gaming in, but it's good when you settle back in. It's very nice. It fills your cup. You know,
yes,
it's very important.
Yeah, you've been very busy. You're definitely a hard worker. I know you're always working.
Oh,
so I'm glad you got some family time to relax. But
yeah, dude. Yeah.
The news has been good for you, Matty, in the most part.
Oh, it's been so good.
I've been looking at your channel. I'm like, oh, bro, he is farming right now. That's my boy.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Last Stand Media Reddit has definitely had their finger on the pulse for how things have been going for me, which is like, we paid every conceivable cost to get Fallout back. Just everything. And in a lot of ways, it was stuff we already knew, but like now it's official, now it's confirmed, and we got a roadmap. So that's been good. The Xbox back compat news is good with an asterisk. I want to kind of see. They're like our last hope on physical games, you know. Like we're trying to twist the knife where we can on PlayStation. You know, a lot of it is kind of. I think I get why a lot of people look at what's happening now and they're like, "Oh, it's all performance and stuff." And I'm like, why not just stick it to the last possible moment? You know, like I think there's a thing called conviction and value set that at least I stand by. It's like you know, I don't want to go down just like, all right, it is what it is. So that's been the negative part of the news for sure, is what's going on with physical games. But otherwise, it's been a really good past 7 months, you know, between Fate of the Old Republic, seeing a little bit of that Fallout. Now we're hearing rumors about KOTOR remake getting re-revealed within the next half year or so, probably. Like pretty exciting stuff. So yeah, the news has been very much tailored to me. So very appreciative of that after 2024 and 2025 were just like really bummer years, all things considered. Like I felt like 2023, we hit this peak and then we just kind of not like went completely downhill, but there was just a lot more busts than booms, so to say. And so it's been good to get a little bit back on track here. But yeah, shout out to Fallout. Thanks for carrying me this past week. It's been great.
Yeah, good old Fallout. Very exciting news there. I'm kind of curious. You said this Xbox is kind of like the last hope, you said, for physical?
Which is not saying much at all.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
I think it's kind of seemingly over already for them for the most part.
Yeah.
I went to Target. The Xbox section is just gone now.
Yeah.
Well, actually, there was, I think, 2 or 3 controllers maybe, but like the shelf space is gone. Sony, of course, is shrinking as well. Nintendo dominates definitely all that stuff.
Yeah, technically it's Nintendo. I say Xbox in the way of like by the way, before anyone in the audience says anything, like it is complete copium. Like I'm not acting like
we're just having a conversation.
Realistic sort of desire. But Xbox is an erratic, chaotic, reactive enough company where you could kind of bully them into a response. Like the same thing that put them out in the Xbox One gen. There's something kind of poetic about like, hey, you can kind of get that back now. Obviously, the times are different though. The reason I say, Xbox could be a little bit of a hope here is just, from my perspective, and it's all based on, there's some reason, some rationale, but there is a lot of emotions in it. It's like, what does this quantify into if they say like, we're going to support physical media, right? Like, does that get their foot back in the door in a way that is truly meaningful and tangible, where that or digital preservation, like even that, that's what I've been telling people is like, the fight really isn't about, hey, go buy your stuff physical. Like I'm not, a lot of people who are on my side have taken the route of like bullying others. And I think it's just like a really bad way of doing it, because that's why, like when I put out posts like I did yesterday, people were just like, go fuck yourself, because it's just like, they're just on the offensive now.
Right.
It's like, great. Thank you for spoiling it. But like, it's really just about consumer rights at the end of the day. It's like, if you're going to take away a major way to consume games, which is the secondhand market, we need to know we have our rights when it comes to buying these games and owning these games and trading them and gifting them. Like, these are ours. And if that is going to be the case, then I would pretty much shut up instantly. I'd be like, okay, we're taken care of. And I'll go back to collecting for my backlog and owning whatever I can own. And, I would still argue for a disc option to be, a limited thing. Kind of like what movies do. Like, here's the theater showing, and then a couple months later, here's our Blu-ray run or whatever it may be. I think gaming still has a place for something like that. I don't see a reason why it shouldn't. But I'm at the point I'm willing to settle, meet in the middle, charge me a little bit more. I'll buy it after launch. Cool. You'll get a lot of double dippers that way. Nice little bump in revenue if you're like whoever is publishing it. Sure. But why I go back to Xbox is just because, again, I don't know what it turns into for them. Like, if there's like something that they can build off of with that, but they've talked about returning to the core. They've talked about stepping away from profit margins that were previously unrealistic. And I just got to wonder if there is a level of like, hey, this is a win that's not going to change everything for us, but this is the same type of win that put us out a generation ago. And like, is there something to stepping in front of this and being like, we'll take care of you to some extent? Do I think they're going to run like disk drives and all that stuff? Probably not, because I imagine at the end of the day, with the way hardware pricing's going, any cut's a good cut to these companies, right? But could they say, hey, because they're already, PlayStation's beholden to the PS6, which they just refuse to talk about, whereas Xbox is already talking about Helix. So they could be like, hey, we're going to ship without a disk drive, but we're going to give you an optional one. You'll be able to put your disc in there. You can like run your old games. Like, when you do them digitally, here's what happens to those games. For as badly as Xbox has sucked, they at least talk to their audience.
Right.
And I think that's the main frustration people have with PlayStation, is PlayStation's just acting like this isn't happening. And it's very obviously a PR tactic. So, sorry, I could go on and on. I'm really just trying to spread awareness where I can, though, because it's just like, I think for a lot of people, until the rubber meets the road, they're not going to care. And I think that's a shame, because I don't think it gets better with this, with how it stands currently. Again, one storefront, digital games. We already see how little sales happen. This is a pure profit marginal play. And I don't know. I'm curious what you think about it. I'm sure you've already talked about it, but I haven't heard your thoughts on it. But I find it pretty disappointing, everything that's kind of happening. To me, it's a little dystopian, especially with the lack of fucks given by a lot of people. It's like, there's a lot of obfuscated data out there that people are reacting to at face value and saying like, oh, physical's over. And I'm like, no, it's quite the opposite in a lot of ways, actually. And in fact, like, because of the limited stock, I think some of the physical numbers are actually more suppressed than they'd actually be. But I didn't get a chance to hear your thoughts. I'd be curious to what you think.
I'm what's more important to me is what you're saying about like these like sort of rights of having digital ownership, whatever that could be. I want improved things upon that. I want more options. I think physical discs are cool. I like them. I think it's a great option. I don't see why you should get rid of them. At least I think you could at least go one more generation with
Yeah.
physical discs, in my
Yeah.
opinion. But I used to be a much more physical person. But as soon as we got to the PS5 generation, I kind of was like, okay, this is
You
kind
turn
of
it over.
the end
Yeah.
for, I think, like I'm seeing
Mm,
like, and the PS4 generation, I could already see it. And as someone who's been playing on Steam for a long time,
sure.
saw the way things were going already. So I was kind of like, all right, this is kind of the end of the line. It seems like for me, at least being like invested in physical gaming like that and seeing where it's going, I don't want it to go away. I think it's
Mm,
cool, but I guess I'm more in I guess I'm just more in the stage of acceptance, I guess, where I've been at for a long time.
yeah.
Where I'm just like, I understand this is the way things are. Not necessarily the way I want it to be, but this is how it is, basically.
Yeah.
But I think it is more important right now for me to have more of a voice on the digital protection storefront.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm not in the way of telling people how like their food tastes or like this is how you have to buy things or this is how you have to engage with the hobby. Like I choose to do physical because there's a mixture of nostalgia in that, sure, but like I care about owning my stuff. There are people
Mm-hmm.
who genuinely don't, and that's fine. But I think at the end of the day, that's what it's all about is like, just general knowledge of what PlayStation plans to do. Like if they're gonna go all digital, okay, like I think a lot of us, especially in the physical community, knew our days were numbered. It's just a matter of like, how do you off ramp that properly? Because
Mm-hmm.
I think, again, the off ramp was like, hey, we're increasing prices on physical because of the margins. And hey, we're doing an optional disk drive. And so naturally, by that alone, there are going to be a ton of people who kind of, I think, go your way. Like, all right, like this is just like the juice ain't worth the squeeze. Like I'm just gonna go digital. That's easier for me. But
Mm-hmm.
I also think part of this is done because that physical community, I think they've been trying to budge off that last, I'd
Oh
say
yeah.
depending on the game, 25 to 30, I'd say 15 to 35%, depending on the game, is like a pretty fair percentage. And they just can't shake them loose. And I think
Mm-hmm.
I think it really is just like they'll come, cut them dry, like that sort of thing. But yeah, I'm totally not about telling people how to purchase things. I think though a lot of people should care about just what can, again, if we have more knowledge to act off of. But I think a lot of people are operating on assumptions like they're not going to jack up all the prices. They still want to sell their games. I'm like, do we know that? Like we already see GTA's going 80, 100.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't PlayStation follow suit when we just saw how they opened the PS5 generation with like $10 upgrades while Xbox is doing smart delivery? Like
Mm-hmm.
we saw how as they gained market control, they operated against your interests every step of the way. And the shame about it all, I'll just speak from a personal level, is because I host an Xbox podcast, people think I'm like personally motivated to like just shit on PlayStation. And it's like, dude, like I have my PS4 controller here. I got my portable,
Right.
my Vita on my desk right next to me. Like I really love PlayStation.
Yeah.
Like there's no debating it. That's why it's frustrating. I'm like, they were really, it's funny because um Nintendo really is the last bastion of physical games. And I think they will be for probably that next generation or so
Mm-hmm.
because of Japan. Japan still consumes a ton of physical media. That's still like a big chunk of sales. But with PlayStation, they were kind of in the middle, and in a lot of ways, like the best place to get physical games. That's why my PS5 collection is bigger than my Xbox One and Series collection combined, because
Mm-hmm.
Xbox physical games have sort of always been license keys, and so it's just a crummy situation. So I've just kind of taken the stance of telling people, like, look, if you want to buy certain games, even if they come from PlayStation, like say Marvel Tokon Wolverine, you should go ahead and do so. It's just a matter of like, think about when you buy it, how you buy it, because right now I'm in the phase of like, it's going away. So I'm going to own what I can. So if something like Wolverine's fully on disc, I'd rather buy that physically.
Right.
Um, you know, but otherwise, like, once that time's up, I've seen the retro market enough times. Once that cutoff date happens, up go the prices. So you may as well get what you can now.
Mm-hmm.
No shame in that. So it's just a tricky situation though.
Yeah.
It's a shame again, but um, I don't think they'll say anything, but I that's why again you go back to Xbox. I think if they make a move, same thing with what happened with PlayStation. They made a move, put pressure on Xbox. Xbox changed how they approach their DRM strategy. We know how that all went. Um,
Yeah. The
so
other
yeah, we'll see if Xbox does anything. I doubt it, but I do think they're more motivated. I think there's a reason they did the Xbox back compat thing without it being fully ready. Like with like I think they would have waited to like with the achievements being ready to like have announced that. But I think they realized like some type of news on game preservation would make them look a little better. I think they could have taken a step further and maybe announced some more details, such as like again, game ownership, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But all in one fell swoop. But it seems like they're cooking on getting that news ready because they just announced a partnership with Ubisoft where some of Ubisoft's games are going from console to PC for free. So there's something going on there where they're gradually rolling it out. And I imagine in the coming month or so we'll get some info on that. Sorry, I interrupted you. What were you gonna say?
No. You're going good. I was just thinking, I'm like, they are at a point where they can get like small wins, I should say.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that's fine. I think that's a good idea. Like, why wouldn't you take those wins if you can get them right now? Like, what do they got to lose at this point? But my real question is, like, what is next generation going to be for you guys? I have a lot of questions. I mean, I'm confused about that company all the time. I was just talking to Cog about this last week, and it's like, yeah, you got two people in the same company in high positions telling me different things. And this feels like a constant for them. So I don't really know what to think from this company or know what to expect from them.
Yeah. The last comment from Matt Booty appears very rogue, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's like, oh, I'm running against them, but it seems like Asha and everyone is very unified in what it's going to be. And then Matt Booty just said something completely in the opposite direction of that in my read, where I don't know, man. I don't know. Like it's like when it's just him, it's like, well, there's no other conclusion other than like this guy is just I think Cog put it well when I talked to him about it. He was like, Matt Booty's job is to oversee Xbox game studios and basically set them up for the best point of success, which, depending on who you ask, his results may vary. And if for him, he's like, look, I want to make sure like, yeah, if we do this team doing this game and we're not sure about its market potential, we're going to go multi-plat, even if that goes against, single player games are always going to be exclusive. He's technically setting those games up for failure. So I from Cog's angle, I was like, I kind of do get where he's coming from with all of that. At the same time, Xbox fans need consistency and reassurance every month. Not because they're babies, just like, I mean, I don't blame them. I feel the same way. I'm like, you guys, what's been great about Asha is there's been a consistent, like, okay, I'm getting it. After Summer Showcase, I was like, okay, it feels like we're on a line right now. And then Matt Booty just kind of stepped out of the line, a month and a half later. So
yeah. Do you think it's like damage control maybe for the future? Because he's been at the company for a long time, I guess. He lived through the whole, like, them going third party, I guess, for a little bit and stuff like that. And he's saying like, hey, man, if Gears does come to PS5 or something like that, or something like that does happen, it's like, I told you.
It just feels very clip conscious. Like,
sure.
And I just don't think when you're in his position, there's any getting around that. Like, if they don't find a clip from you from, what was it, July 2026, they'll find something you said in 2018, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's just unfortunately how the internet operates. And so I think the best answer was a non-answer if you weren't sure.
Yeah.
Just like, right now we're just moving with the current plan, but we're not discussing anything until later. There you go. Boom. Perfect non-answer. You got nothing else to add on top of that. But it felt like he was kind of protecting himself so that if Xbox decided, like you mentioned, like, oh, Clockwork and Gears are actually going to PlayStation. It wasn't like I didn't say nothing about it. I did tell you all it was case by case. And as you'll see there. So is it like a selfish move? I don't know. I don't know if he went that rogue or what, but it definitely viewed to me as a bit of like self-sustaining, preserving his department and his approach and making sure he doesn't get clipped. And it's like, bro, that ship has sailed for you. Like, there's already a lot of Matt Booty quotes. So
yeah, I don't know, man. He must be quite the politician at that company. He survived.
Survived and got promoted
and thrived. Yeah, he survived
and thrived. Yeah, it's pretty fucking impressive, all things considered.
Damn, yeah, I am impressed with that guy. As much as I think he shouldn't be there, just like I think Herman Hulst. I don't think Herman Hulst should be at PlayStation anymore either. So it's just like, I don't know, man.
And this is why I don't blame people with the whole physical games thing. Just to loop it back to that, I don't blame people for giving up.
Sure,
like I don't think they should, but I don't blame people because we're so conditioned to accept like. Yeah, Herman Hulst is going to like put 400 million to Concord and all these other catastrophic decisions made by PlayStation. He's not going to get fired. He's just going to get a little demotion. He's still very much involved in leadership groups, still involved in like core decisions. But this guy barely gets punished, Or, again, Matt Booty, like you see the state of Xbox game studios throughout series generation, Xbox One. It's like, yeah, this guy just gets promoted. He's the right-hand man now. Like, yeah, like I get it. Why people are like, well, who the fuck cares at this point? Like, I get it. It sucks.
It's a clown show, dude. Yeah, I don't know. It's very weird. There you got Nintendo kind of doing their own weird little thing as always.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're always in their own little bubble.
Yeah, they definitely are. All right. Hey, everybody. We're going to talk about games. Before we do that, though, please check us out on patreon.com/laststandmedia. You can get early ad-free access to all of our shows, including Defining Duke, which Matty hosts with Cog. Very fun
Indeed.
show.
Thank
I
you.
do listen to your guys' show a lot because I like to get perspective from you guys like that. Very insightful.
Thank you. We try.
Also, if you want some merch, go to laststandmedia.store. Micah will send you some merch from the Moriarty household. So help them free up some space in their house. I'm sure they just got boxes of merch hanging out. All right, I'm excited about this. Matty, over the last couple months, I've been doing this with some people, having people rank their favorite game from a platform by the year. I've done stuff with Chris, Colin. Now it's your turn, Mr.
Okay.
We're going to do Xbox, the original Xbox. Not Xbox One, the original, the OG, just Xbox. Because I know you love this console.
Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah.
And it has a very short life, actually. 5 years. No, wait. Yeah, 5 years. 2001 to 2005. So, because 360 came out 2005, right? Is that correct?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so they got some games there at least. But depending how long we go on this, we might do some 360 stuff as well.
Sure.
But I want to see. So, Matty, we're going to start with 2001. What is your pick for 2001?
Halo Combat Evolved. That's an easy one.
Yeah, now how's it not going to be Halo?
Yeah.
It's just...
exactly, right? It's like, how can it not be Halo? But this is also like one of my most replayed games ever. So that was like a very easy one for me. Funny enough, we'll talk about Halo later in the episode a lot. But yeah, Halo Combat Evolved is you could argue it's my favorite in the series from like a personal replay standpoint. Like, it's definitely the entry I've gone back to the most. I think it's pretty, outside of the library mission, of course, famously so. I think it's a pretty perfectly paced campaign, perfect story, perfect world building. Just like, as I'll get into later, you just can't really do any of this better,
Sure.
And by that, I mean, like, obviously with Halo 2 and 3, they made it better. But just like for starting out a franchise, console first-person shooter, the controls, the multiplayer, the power weapons, the mission design, it like this totally just absorbed me in. And also, I mean, let's talk physical real quick again. This has a nice holographic reflective cover.
That is nice.
Chief reflects to the light, and it's awesome. The attachment you draw to your Marines because of the health bar system, which was unique in Halo 1 all the way up into Halo Reach, they brought that back, which is really nice to see. Just a lot. It's the game that's perfectly described as a lot of little things that come together to make the greatness that it is. Like, it's the little things like the performance, the music's huge, of course, but I'm saying, like, these missions, you could tell when you play the prequel missions and campaign while you're like, oh, the music plays such a big part in this franchise, more than I think we really process until it's gone. You don't hear that Marty O'Donnell score, you're like, yeah, it's like a sci-fi shooter now. It's got such strong personality. So I adore Halo Combat Evolved. I replayed it at the end of last year when they started showing off Campaign Evolved, and like, I went back and basically replayed it again after Campaign Evolved was done to wash the taste out of my mouth. So, dude, great fucking game. Absolutely love this one. And just very thankful for how it really pulled me into the Xbox ecosystem, and just how many hours of play that specific entry has given me just over and over and over.
Yeah, I'm like looking at games that came out that year, and Halo kind of like, I guess, saved Xbox year one at least. There's not a whole lot here where I'm like, these are system sellers.
Yeah,
good games.
Great games for sure. Oddworld Munch's Odyssey was a second place candidate for me.
Yeah.
This is a game that I don't talk about it a lot. I haven't talked about it in any videos really, and I haven't talked about it in any shows, but like, Oddworld is one of my favorite franchises ever. I think the storytelling and the themes of those games are great. I've had the pleasure of meeting Lauren Lanning, who's the creator of Oddworld, and like talking to him about these games. I met him at E3 2016. It's like still one of my favorite moments of my life where, like this is like my dad is not into video games. So this is like the one game we play together. So we hold it, like we still refer back to it to this point. It's got toilet humor. Like you can rip ass, you can burp in people's faces. Like all your like scrubs around you, your other Mudokins, they'll all like react to you like doing these things. It's just got such a personality. But I would put that in the top 3. Dead or Alive 3 was a spiritual awakening for me as a young lad playing that for the first time. I was like, hell yeah, I love this shit. And then Max Payne. Oh man, Max Payne.
Max Payne.
I didn't
was
realize
good.
that was the December game. That's interesting. I got to that really late.
Max Payne is good. I'm
kind of like 2002. I have that right here. Rare sports game in my collection. Yeah, that's another one.
Who made that?
Xbox themselves. They had a sports studio. So they did like Inside Drive. They did like all these different sports games from their own Microsoft Game Studio is what they call them.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so NFL Fever was one that my brother and I played a lot growing up. Amped was another one. Amped is
I always wanted to play Amped. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. I got that in my collection too. Yeah. Amped 1. I actually never played any of the other Amped games. I never played Amped 2. I never played Amped 3. I was the idiot as a kid who I called it Amphead. I just didn't know how to read as a kid. Yeah. I used to call it Amphead.
That's awesome.
Fusion Frenzy is on this list too. Fusion Frenzy is my Mario Party. That's like how I describe it. Like that's the Mario Party for me.
Yeah.
Batman Vengeance was in 2001 as well. Wow. It is a great launch year. There was Shrek. Oh my God, Shrek. That's a terrible video game.
Big old 49 on Metacritic right there.
Yeah, dude. This game, I have a story about this one. I remember playing it when oh God, dude, my Mimi came over to babysit me and I was not feeling good. And I just remember while I was playing this game, I just barfed all over the fucking couch. I always blame this game for it, dude. Like it's just a terrible video game.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I can see how this can make you sick.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's like nightmare fuel. I don't know if you've ever looked into Shrek on Xbox, but it's like a very cursed video game. No exaggeration. Shrek 2 is an amazing video game. It's Shrek 1. Okay. People should look into it if they have yet to.
Yeah, I don't know if I've played. I remember I've played one of the Shrek games. It might have been Shrek 2 though.
Yeah,
because I didn't have an OG Xbox. I had to borrow like friends' to play stuff. Like I played Halo through that and all that kind of stuff. Tell me about Star Wars Obi-Wan here. What's the deal with this game?
Oh man, Star Wars. So Xbox just gobbled up the Star Wars IP during this generation. It's actually, you'll see as we get into my list later. Star Wars Obi-Wan, I forgot at one point in the timeline. I mean, obviously it's a prequel game, but I forgot at what point in the movies it takes place. It's a really interesting game where you control your lightsaber attacks through like your right thumbstick, and there's like acrobatics involved. It had a lot of really good ideas. It unfortunately doesn't feel the best to play compared to like games that would come out on the Xbox later, like Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, which are just still, I think to this day, some of the best lightsaber fighting you can get in a Star Wars video game. But it's a lot of the YouTube community really likes Star Wars Obi-Wan now because it is such like one of those like C tier tie-in games that has a couple of gimmicks in it. And so overall, like it's nothing crazy good. But I don't know. I had an all right time with it. Going back to it, I replayed that game 4 years ago, I want to say. I randomly did it for Retro Rebound. Whenever the Obi-Wan show came out, I went back to that one. But yeah, Star Wars Obi-Wan, I think the cover art for it is hilarious because here, I'll hold it. I have it in my collection. You can barely see Obi-Wan because it's like a picture in motion and it's like just all dark. And like the idea is the lightsaber is illuminating him, but like it's all like motion blurred as well. But yeah, it just the reality is there was just like better playing Star Wars games after this. So I think this one just got drowned out over time.
Yeah.
This also has I forgot I had a multiplayer mode.
Doesn't Obi-Wan have a blue lightsaber?
That's a good point. Yes. I'm probably the worst person to ask about that. He does in the movies, but I don't know why.
I'm looking at screenshots. He has a blue one here. And I think in there, like episode 4 he does as well, like that white color.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything about that. Yeah, he's got a blue lightsaber in the game.
Maybe they were just embracing that Xbox green.
I think that was the idea because this was it doesn't have the Xbox exclusive stamp on it, but I don't believe this went to other platforms. I think it was always on
Yeah, I don't recall it ever
Xbox.
being on anything else.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so I don't know. I have a lot of nostalgia for these games.
Yeah,
NHL
sure.
hits, but I really Dave Mirra is a great one too.
Mm,
But yeah, I have a lot of nostalgia for these games. But I loved the Xbox lineup so much.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move to 2002. Maddie, you can select a year at the top left.
Oh
You
yeah,
should
yeah,
see the
yeah.
years
All right.
list.
So for this one,
A lot
my
more
pick.
games this time.
Yeah. This is. See, this is where it really already is impossibly difficult for me
Mm-hmm.
because there are obvious picks like Morrowind, for example, of course. Morrowind. I mean, it's listed as 2002, but that was really 2003. But my point being, like, because I think it was PC first.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also Jet Set Radio Future, which just like
Great game.
knocked me on my
Yeah.
fucking ass. Splinter Cell, I was very late to. I can't really speak to that, so that was already an incredible one. But what I thought of when I'm going with what I thought of when Shenmue 2 is on this list. I forgot about Shenmue 2
Yep.
as well. What I went with was what came to mind first. Blinks the Time Sweeper.
Blinks.
Yeah, but Blinks. I don't. What is Blinks rated here? Does Blink? I'm in the 79 now, and I do not. This is scaring me.
What page is that on? Yeah.
Oh boy, hold on. Blinks is on page. Oh boy, I'm in the 74s and I don't see him yet. Death Row was in 2002. Oh man, I might have to call an audible. Hang on. Okay, Blinks got a 71. It's number 82. It's on page 4.
Okay.
I'm gonna call an audible. I'll talk Blinks in a little bit, but I saw a Death Row.
Death Row?
And
Okay.
yeah, that's number 46, page 2.
Okay.
Okay. This game is like my spirit animal, dude. I since day one have absolutely stand for this game and just said, yo, if you got an original Xbox or a 360, because it's there on 360 back compat, this is the game to play, man. And if there's any game I'm praying they pull randomly out of the back compat bag and they're like, hey, it's on PC with achievements, Lord, let it be this one. Death Row is a sports fighting game. So you've got a disc that sits in the center of an arena, and you got 2 teams of 4. And so as you're running around the arena, it's very like bloody. Like that's one thing I really loved about the OG Xbox is like a lot of M-rated shit. But this was like crude 2000s M-rated. So when you press I believe it was the black button, you would like flip people off and you'd curse at them. I feel like this is a big reason why I just got like a garbage mouth. I mean, it doesn't help that I was like born and raised in New York, of course, but like I think that Death Row, just like that sort of like loving of just like anytime I got pissed, just like flipping people off and cursing at them was so good. But also I loved how the game responded to it. So if you flipped off someone and it was a taunt and they'd come over and they'd fight you.
That's funny.
And the fighting in the game was pretty decent. You had like punch combos, kick combos, throws, and each team had their own stats. Like some of these teams, dude, especially later in the game, they had like guys who would just grapple you, throw you to the floor, and knock you out in one move. And this made it like really tough because the AI was so intelligent where like these teams that were really good at fighting would come and beat your shit in and then take the disc and throw it through the goal. And it was like a different challenge compared to some teams that were better at shooting. So they like passed around a lot and then they try to shoot at the goal. And so there were points where like even playing in single player, like your whole team would get knocked down on the ground. They just keep scoring over and over because no goalie was left on the field. There was a set amount of lives that you'd get per character. And then they balance these characters based on their stats. So some characters would have less lives than others because their stats would be so good. And then they had a whole career mode on top of this where you could like go through, accept sponsorship deals. Some players would get suspended for like partying too much. You could get new players on contracts onto your team because your free agent pool would gradually expand as you went deeper and deeper into your career. It is like for those who hear this and they're like, oh, it's a sports game. I'm telling you all, it's like a sports game for people like us who like to beat the shit out of things and play it like a fighting game. It is some of the most fun I've ever had with video games. I still go back to it every now and again. It is a game that I adore so much. Death Row. It is also the kind of backdrop, the lore for it all is kind of messed up because as you beat these teams, they're just getting killed. Like that's
Oh,
all that's
man.
happening. You're just fighting for freedom, and people are just like watching in this kind of gladiatorial style arena, cheering you on. The music in the game is really good, really memorable. Like again, very early. Like look at the cover art here. For those who are watching us on video, like the cover art is very early 2000s crunchy. I don't know how to describe it. Like the blood, the paint streak, the guy with the fist up. And honestly, the cover art doesn't, I don't know why I picked this up as a kid. Cover art's everything, but this cover art doesn't really sell you. I might have found it on a demo or something. I don't know, but that's definitely it, dude. Seeing this was a 2002 game. There's a lot of great games that came out in 2002 as we're just going through here, but Death Row, dude. Oh my God. I love this game so much.
Yeah, what a pick, dude. I don't think I've even heard of that game before.
Yeah, it's such an underrated game. It's a game that I'm convinced that they brought it back. There's two things that would happen. One, I think it would resonate with today's crowd if they had like better fighting and better scoring and passing team options. But I also feel like they would probably neuter like the cursing and the writing that really I think gets this game into its sense of personality. Just the shit that they say when you taunt them, dude, is so crude. It's unbelievable. I mean, I love it. I love it for that. I'm like, dude, I wish more games just had the balls. But this is just a super memorable game that I it's also very cheap. If anyone's really interested and wants to take a flyer on it, I think, I don't know. I bought this for like, I mean, you saw I had my old GameStop copy. I bought it for $5, but I don't think it's much more nowadays.
Oh yeah, man. What a pick. I gotta say, I didn't expect that out of all the picks. That's for sure. I was like, oh yeah, it's probably Morrowind from Matty. Maybe Tony Hawk.
No, I mean, Morrowind is interesting because, I mean, it's such an impactful game for me as a kid, but it's also a game that I've never beat.
Oh.
Yeah, I've never beat Morrowind, which is a funny thought. I know, but like, it's a game so much about the, I'm not even going to try to justify it. It's just a game so much about the adventure rather than the story, but also people call me a new age fan for this. I do think Morrowind could stand to get a few improvements, you know, the way like navigation works, how things, I'm talking more like fast travel stuff. I don't think the whole on foot traveling from A to B is the best thing for the game. There are ways you can get around different holds, like you can go to Mage's Guild and then teleport to a different guild, but it's a game that definitely benefits off your lack of familiarity, but it's also a game that I should go back to one more time and like try to go through again. I got pretty deep last time I played it, but it's also a game that really benefits from your knowledge of like, go here, get this. This will make your whole playthrough easy. And then once you have that, like, because for example, combat's a bitch in Morrowind because it's all driven off your skills. So when you like swing to attack an enemy, if you're attacking with melee and you're right in front of them, because your skill is at like 15 for short swords, you're just going to miss every attack. And I don't think that feels the best. And so there's certain like accessories and equipment you can get early that jump that skill. So it's not really a problem. You can just grind your way really quickly and kind of get to playing it like a traditional Elder Scrolls game. But my argument to all that is like, well, shouldn't I just be like able to just swing and hit the enemy and we'll just dictate these skills for other stuff instead? Which is, I think, what they would do if they remastered Morrowind nowadays. But
yeah, definitely.
I love the game, dude. Like just the sense of discoverability and openness as a kid. Like I got very far in Morrowind in the scheme of like, I played a lot of it, but I can only imagine at that time, I only scratched the surface, but it opened my mind to like what gaming could be because it was just so open. I remember visiting my childhood best friend, and he was playing it and just watching it. Like he was just walking and walking and walking and the world just kept going. That was like unbelievable as a kid. That's the shame about growing up with games now is so many people are like, oh, big whoop. Like, yeah, but I'm like, when you were there watching this game after only playing linear shit, it's like an unbelievable thing to see like, oh, I could just go in any direction and the world just keeps going. And there's just different parts of the world to load into. The in-depth character customization for Morrowind as well. Incredible. You know, you're just off the boat and like you're whatever race you want to be, whatever class you want to create, whatever sign you were born under. I miss these types of hardcore mechanics within Bethesda games. I wish they did more of them. I think they've really, really watered them down since. But you'd think it'd be Morrowind, and Morrowind was really important to me as a kid. But I just can't fraud on the audience and be like, it wasn't until Oblivion that I think my eyes were like wide open. I was like, oh shit,
Mm-hmm.
because I played it when I was in 8th grade. They made that game way more accessible, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, but what a man. There's even some OG Xbox exclusives on this list I haven't played. Like I mentioned, Splinter Cell's like a pretty big blind spot for me. I know it's not for COG. Mech Assault is still one that's on this list
Mm-hmm.
here. A lot of Tony Hawk clones. We were talking about Dave Mirra, but aggressive inline is here. That was a rollerblading game. Yeah, there was a lot here. Yeah, what a year, man. Holy crap. Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, that was a classic as a kid. Yeah, this is Shenmue 2. Oh man.
Yeah, what a
Raimi
list.
Spider-Man 1. So good. Sorry, go ahead.
You're talking about Morrowind and kind of just you'd be blown away how big the game was. And I definitely remember this kind of era of games getting like bigger, and that was like such an impressive thing where I was like, whoa. That was like when I saw like GTA 3 the first time. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
This is crazy. I mean, you look at it now, you're like, this is fucking primitive, tiny little game. But back then, that was insane.
Yeah. Yeah. I played GTA 3 for the first time this month. So I was super late to that one. But yeah, that was what Morrowind was for me, where I could not believe the scale. Oh my God, there's even Dr. Muto on this list. Forgot about that one. Blink's the Time Sweeper though. I just gotta talk.
Yeah, you can go off.
Yeah, this is they define themselves proudly as a 4D game, and I feel like Blinks deserved a longer shelf life, is all I'm saying here. Like I know there's a longer list of other mascots that should make a return. Like, yeah, let's bring back Banjo first. But I'm telling y'all, man, Blinks had something. It really did. It was a 3D platformer, but the way you controlled time and interacted with the levels, there was something really special about that. Like pausing time, rewinding time, like everything that would basically be on a VCR at release or a DVD player, they built into the game and its levels. And so there were enemies that like you would want to pause and then you'd like absorb trash from the environment and shoot it at them all. And they'd all like die after the game unpaused. Or you'd come across, it's simple stuff. You'd come across a broken bridge. Okay, I'm going to rewind time here, and it would rebuild it all. And then you'd cross it and then resume time and it would all destroy again. You know, it's nowadays probably not as impressive, but I think it was pretty like technologically advanced for what it was doing back then.
Totally.
And for it to get like a 71 on Metacritic, I'm like, what the fuck was everyone smoking back then? I'm not saying it was like 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, but like a 71. It was a game that, you know, I always like roast these other 3D platformers, including ones I like. It's all like pressing the A button and swinging and attack. Like this game actually challenged you to do something different. I thought it was so cool as a kid. It's definitely a pick me sort of like, hey, look at my favorite 3D platformer selection. But like Blinks is an Xbox legend, man. Like I'm so glad in their first back compat run of like things they brought to PC, they're like, yeah, let's do Blinks the Time Sweeper. I'm like, yeah, great choice. It's a good choice there. There were so many other games I think, like you brought up Morrowind, that I probably thought would have been in the first batch. But that's some good shit. I was happy to see that.
Blinks is a game I always wanted to play because I like 3D platformers a lot. So
yeah, I was gonna say I think you'd like it.
I do kind of, dude. This might get me to turn my Xbox on whenever I get a chance to playing it.
Blinks, really? Of
maybe
everything? Death Row wouldn't, but Blinks will. That's so
Blinks.
interesting.
Well, yeah, I like 3D platformers a lot, so I always wanted to. And I mean, I know it's on PC. I fucking hate the Xbox PC app. I hate it. Dude. It's so
they
bad.
Got you
man.
on the PC app.
It's
Very
so
interesting
bad,
choice there. Very interesting choice.
But I'll see.
If you play it, let me know. I'd be curious to see what someone who's never played that before, what their thoughts are without the nostalgia and just going in like, oh, let's see how it goes. You know?
Yeah, I mean, when I play it, I'll be like, okay, this is a game from 2002 or whatever it is. So I'll keep that in mind. Absolutely as well. I just remember seeing Blinks. I'm like, who the fuck is Blinks? It's like weird. This guy's like trying to be like Sonic with his like smirk and everything like that.
He's obviously a hybrid character. Yeah. Like a little bit of Sonic, a little bit of like all these different characters we've seen over the years, like Mario. Like this is Xbox kind of envisioning what is our Mario. And they bet it on a time traveling cat. Yeah. I really do think the mascot worked against them because I don't think people look at, I admit, I don't look at Blinks and go, oh man, what great character design. I'm like, oh, Xbox legend, you know, like this is just like for the deep cut Xbox fans here. But I think their aspirations were much higher. They did make a second Blinks game, but it reviewed worse than the first one.
Wow.
And I don't know if that's true though. Seeing it's a 70 Metacritic here, I'm like, I don't know. They could be on one, but it's right here. It's called, what is it called? I've actually never played this. Blinks 2 masters of time and space. And this one's at least like he looks a little more raw in this one.
Yeah,
Like,
who's the guy next to him though?
I don't know.
What is that? Like a pig?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Slow down, speed up, or pause time. Even make it run backward. After all, you're a time sweeper. Get the upper hand on your enemies with black holes, void traps, and other way cool space controls. Oh yeah, you can customize your own cat in this game.
Oh,
It's
weird.
awesome. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. What a nifty little game, man.
This I was looking at who developed this. Is a Japanese developer?
I believe so. Artoon?
Yes. A Japanese game developer established by former Sega members. Okay.
Yeah, obviously we all know Xbox like was the successor of Sega. Jet Set Radio Future is a great example of that. It's so funny. They call it Jet Set Radio Future and the setting is 2024. And it's like, oh, we are the future.
Yeah.
Now.
Oh shit.
Yeah. That's a game that I'm really looking forward to the remake of because I think Jet Set Radio Future is such a like aesthetically pleasing game. Have you ever played real quick? Have you ever played like Bomb Rush Cyberpunk at all?
Yes, I have actually.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank God. Someone else I fucking know has played it. I love that game, dude. And that game is like proof that like with right controls, Jet Set Radio is like going to feel like a dream.
Yeah.
If anyone's gone back to Jet Set Radio Future, like the way the camera controls and the grinding controls, it feels like shit, dude. But the game's got such a strong personality. It like really is so memorable. Some of the missions and the things you could do. And of course the music, like this game was another one that I just kept playing over and over and over and over. I have the dual pack. Where is it? I have the dual pack that I think came with Sega GT. I want to say.
Oh, okay.
Where is it? Here we are. Yes. So it was like Sega GT, and this is like a launch thing.
Oh, that is cool.
Jet Set Radio on the side, yeah. And so the manual it came with was Jet Set Radio because they were like, it's a racing game. We don't really need to teach you how to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always had that copy in my collection because that's how I got into Jet Set Radio Future. My original Xbox broke. We got a new one from Best Buy, and it came with this copy. And then I bought a copy of Star Wars, Clone Wars, and Tetris World. Don't you miss these days? Like, look at this. Like, you have Star Wars and then Tetris World on the other side.
Yeah,
it's like,
that is pretty cool.
What the hell is this, man? Like, good times.
That is pretty cool. All right, 2003. I mean, I think this will be pretty quick.
What do you think, Brad? Take a guess.
I think it's gonna be. Let's see here. I think it's gonna be NBA Street Volume 2. I think that's gonna be your number one pick.
Perfect. Oh, Madden 04. Hey, that was a good one too. Yeah, man. I know a lot of people were talking GTA this year, but I was all up Star Wars ass this year and for the foreseeable future. What a year to be me. This was when Morrowind hit Xbox with the Game of the Year edition. I believe that's what I played at my friend's house anyway. But of course, let's not belabor the point. Of course, this is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. My favorite video game of all time. Didn't know it had a 94 on Metacritic. I'm glad to see people were awake and really taking it all in here. Yeah, this is one that I got at a bargain bin in Circuit City. It was $10. Yeah. So I probably played this after. I remember playing this, I think, around when Revenge of the Sith was coming out. Like, I was really late. You know, this is why physical is important, dude. I was really late to this stuff because we didn't have a lot of money growing up. So I was able to get things secondhand or on deep discounts. So like, I remember going on an errand trip with my dad and like, he was like, okay, I'll get you a game while we're out so that, you know, like, cause I'm really happy you're here and like hanging out and stuff. So my dad was just like awesome like that. So we went to Circuit City. He's like, go ahead and pick out a game. And it was, you know, the $10 and under bin. Like literally you walk in, it's right there in the center. They're like, just please take this off our hands. And I find Star Wars and I'm just like, oh, I love Star Wars because I've been playing like Lego Star Wars and stuff. So I was like, what is this? Now, I at the time was reading Choose Your Own Adventure books and specifically wanted a video game that gave me that feeling, which Morrowind already kind of did, but I wanted it for Star Wars. And this was like a dream come true. It was like, oh my God, I'm choosing my own adventure. Like I'm choosing the things I say in dialogue and I'm being who I want to be. And I'm dictating the outcome of things. I didn't know what an RPG was as a kid until this game, right? This game and Morrowind were like two extremely like my whole world just opened. And it's so funny because even all these years later, I've never gotten over the feeling of I just love the feeling of controlling my destiny, you know? And I especially love how KOTOR does it because I'm a big defender of morality systems that are telling you what your decision is doing. As in, I think a lot of developers understandably go morally gray because they want you to kind of think about your value set as a character and as a player. But I loved how games like Fable and KOTOR and others would make you think good or evil. And especially with Star Wars, it works perfectly because that was it. Light
Right.
side, dark side.
Yeah.
And so as a kid, of course, doing the light side playthrough a bunch of times, but then, okay, I'm going to go dark side. I want to see what happens here, and just killing everybody.
Yeah, that's cool.
And because I remember one of the craziest things to me was Juhani. There's this whole mission where you have to purify the grove. It's tainted on Dantooine. And you find out there's this woman who's a fallen Jedi, and you could straight up kill her there. Now, my first playthrough as a kid, I'm like, you're another fucking enemy. I'm just going to axe you. And you get to the end of the game, and they have all these different portraits that are surrounding your character when you go to your party select menu. And I'm like, who are these last two open options here? And I didn't realize they were HK-47, which is like one of my favorite characters of all time, and Juhani. And I thought it was the most unbelievable thing that you could just straight up kill one of your party members and the whole game would just still keep going. Or that HK you just wouldn't buy from Tatooine. And there are so many moments throughout this game where you can just kill whoever's with you. And the dark side playthrough is just, I thought it was so unbelievable at the time. But given without spoiling the backdrop they give this world and this character, it all makes sense. And also, to me, this is like the best form of Star Wars. This is very politically driven, intriguing Star Wars, where it's more about a medieval style Star Wars than, just like the Jedi Council sitting there and mulling over things. I think KOTOR 2 goes in that direction a little bit more, and I kind of like KOTOR 2 a little bit more for those reasons. But this is like, again, Star Wars at its most fantastical. And I just appreciate that. And of course, one of my favorite character of all time is here in Bastila Shan. I just love how she starts off as this very immature, cocky Jedi who's the center of everything, and how she grows as a character and the relationship you form with her. It's beautiful. It really is. It just gets me every time. So yeah, it goes without saying that I'm very much excited for whatever this remake of KOTOR will be. But nothing will ever replace this game. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I already accepted that going in, that like whatever the remake does, I'm looking at it as in addition to, you can never replace what this game has done.
That's the correct way to look at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
A remake.
You just can't, this is a perfect place, perfect time, perfect mindset, perfect story, perfect desires I had for a game, perfect replayability, perfect length, perfect developer at the time, at least. Like, it all was just shot me out of a cannon, right?
Yeah.
From there, it's like KOTOR 2, then it's Jade Empire, Mass Effect 2, Dragon Age Origins, it's just like, so this was the start of something like that would define my life.
Yeah.
You just can't replace that. So
can't. Yeah.
Very, very much love this game and still urge people to play it. Combat's the only thing I give people some grace on. I'm a defender of it. I'm like, look, dude, it's fine. You've played way worse. But it definitely isn't like you're going to play and be like, man, the combat though, it could be improved. And if the remake's going to do anything, if they just kept everything the exact same and then changed the combat, made that better, I don't know, man. We'll see where it all goes. But that art style as well, the art direction of KOTOR, very beautiful video game, in my opinion. It's the same way Halo's beautiful, more beautiful in the remake, because we didn't have the fidelity back then. So the way they brought detail into the world with art direction, with the lack of detail in some textures, and how they use things like lighting to create a scene, to create a tone, to create an atmosphere, even if it was more static. Beautiful. So yeah, I really, really love KOTOR. It goes without saying. And this is a no doubter for 2003. I don't care what else came out this year. This was the only thing I was playing that whole time.
Yeah.
And this is a July game? I didn't even know this came out in July. That's crazy.
Yeah. I remember this game came out, Matty. And this was like, I feel like my mindset for Star Wars is what a lot of people's mindset is now at that time, I was so
you were
checked out
back then.
of Star Wars. Yeah, I like hated the prequels. I was fucking out, dude. I didn't like
Yeah.
give a fuck about anything Star Wars. And I saw this and I was like, eh, like whatever. But
No.
it's definitely one I gotta play. I want to play it. I definitely want to play before the remake comes out.
Yeah.
Is the Switch version the best version?
I would say so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's definitely because you could mod the PC version to get like updated like you're not changing the mechanics, you're just
Right.
updating the resolution. And I think the Switch version does that perfectly fine.
Okay.
So I think playing that would be the correct decision, the Switch version.
Yeah.
That's what I default to now. I used to only play the Steam version, but now I just go over to the
Switch.
Well, actually,
okay.
I always played the back compat version because the Steam version would be like a stretched aspect ratio. I'm just like,
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes the mods were a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Switch version whenever I get to it. But yeah, let's see. Prince of Persia, huge game. That game was
Prince of
sick when it
Persia.
came out. I remember that.
Yeah. Super cinematic.
Soul Calibur 2. Wow.
Oh,
what a
I
game.
played that on GameCube though.
No one played. Everyone played on GameCube. No one fucking
Yeah.
played the Xbox version.
Yeah. Who gives a
Like
shit? Who was the guest
Spawn?
character? Was it Spawn? Yeah. Come on now.
SSX 3. Great game.
Classic.
The Project Gotham series is one I always thought looked interesting. I never played them, but I was always like looking over
Yeah.
kind of. I'm like, oh, that looks kind of cool.
I feel like I'm putting together as we look at this list why I just didn't give a shit about racing games and still don't. Because I just look at like, I loved Burnout, but there's Project
Mhm.
Gotham, there's Forza, there's Burnout. I'm just like, dude, how many other ways can you drive a damn car? I have in my collection right now, I'm looking at Corvette. Like how many different ways do you want me to drive a car?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with all the sports games, right? Like there was Madden, there was ESPN football, and these things are stacked on top of each other. And hey, press was very generous to these sports games. Top Spin getting an 89
Yeah.
on Metacritic. World Series Baseball 2K3 getting an 89. ESPN football, this is not 2K5, by the way, the one that COG loves, getting a 91. Madden NFL 04, which I played a lot as a kid, got a Metacritic must play badge.
Yeah.
It's the same rating as Soul Calibur 2 and SSX 3
Yeah. How crazy
and
is
Prince
that?
of Persia, The Sands of Time. That's pretty crazy.
That is crazy, man. All right.
Yeah, dude.
Shout out, dude. Okay. Deus Ex Invisible. I played that version on Xbox. I did not like it.
Yeah. That's one I was goofing around with. I was getting it all set up because I want to play it soon. The first one, but with the revision established in there, so it's a little bit more playable.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited to dive into that. But I was told exclusively by Lockmore to avoid the console version.
Yeah, that's the version. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not ideal, dude. Shout out Phantasy Star Online as well.
Tell me about this. I have the soundtrack in my playlist on Spotify. I listen to it all the time, and I fucking love the soundtrack for this game. But I don't know episodes 1 and 2. I knew this as the Oh, there it is. He's got the physical copy here.
The GameCube version.
Yeah. So tell me about this because I only know Phantasy Star as an MMO in 2 ways. Right? There was Online 2, which came out very recently. I played a little bit of that. And before that, the 360 version had the kind of MMO thing. I played a lot of that. So what is episode 1 and 2? Is this like an actual RPG or?
So yeah, it is an RPG. So of course it was on Dreamcast first. Then when Sega essentially died, they started porting all their games. Made its way to GameCube. I actually didn't play. So it was an online game. You could play it online, but I usually mostly played this game locally for GameCube because it had 4-player split screen. So you're going through like this action role-playing game, essentially. Like it's all real-time combat. It's very simplistic. I remember at the time they had like a rhythm to certain like combos. Like one character, if you use, I think they were called a hunter, you would like push it in a specific rhythm for them to do like a combo. It was one of those kind of games like that. But you know, you had a hub town you would go to. Think of like any MMO, just like a hub town you go to, then you go out to the world and do quests. It was more like, it wasn't like complete freedom open zones from what I remember. It was more like you going through it. But it was a tough ass game. I remember there's some really fucking hard bosses in there. But like you brought up earlier, the soundtrack is so good in this game. It has no business being this good.
It's so good, dude.
And it really sells the vibe of the game. It's a really sick game. I haven't played through it since GameCube, but it was a Sonic Team game as well. And I think,
wait, what?
Yeah, back of the box. Look, I don't know if you can see, but it says Sonic Team. Yeah,
yeah, I can see it. Damn, that's crazy.
But yeah, this was like
I'm
a
in.
quintessential, like, because this era was like ball and co-op, of course, local co-op games.
Yeah.
64, this era. So this was one of those games that was in the rotation a lot, but I fucking loved that game. So good. Highly recommend checking it out. Hard though, later on from what I remember.
Okay. Is it like a story driven thing or is it kind of like MMO-ish?
It was
where it's
more like there was like
grindy?
story from what I remember, but it was more MMO-esque. But
Interesting.
like you could be like a bunch of like different like races from what I remember and like classes as well. Like I
Yeah.
always pick the guy with like the fucking lightsaber essentially because it's just fucking cool. But you could be like a robot with like guns and stuff like that.
Damn.
Really cool. Yeah, I'm looking at the manual, dude. And it was such a rapid departure from the other Fantasy Star games, which were like, Final Fantasy style RPGs. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you can see this, Maddie, but like, look at the fucking, if you can see like the
Yeah,
characters and all that
yeah.
kind of shit and the classes.
Yeah.
This is cool
Damn.
shit. Like,
Yeah.
I don't remember what year this came out, but I think I was like in high school, dude. This shit spoke to me. I was like, yes, this is good content. Great offline split screen action up to 4 players.
Oh man, they
Look at that.
were supporting an offline mode. How about that?
Yeah.
Good old times.
Dude, it supported modem, broadband. This is the game that had. Have you seen the GameCube controller with the keyboard on it? It is like the most.
What? No.
Dude, okay. I want you to Google GameCube like keyboard. It is like the funniest looking controller ever. It's insane.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh my dude, this is
yes.
This is like the PS Portal on steroids.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's like an abomination, essentially, when you look at this thing, how funny and clumsy it is.
I like it. I kind of.
It's so novel, but like holding that up to play a game the entire time is so funny to me.
I guess they imagine you'd be sitting on like a desktop or your lap
Right.
with that. Wow, I didn't know this existed. This is blowing my mind. This is actually so cool though.
And I want to say this is like one of, if not the only game that supported like that controller was used for. I'm trying to remember. Game supported because there wasn't like any game like that really on GameCube.
Yeah, it was really the Xbox Live stuff that pulled me into, by the way, 360 Xbox Live that pulled me into online play. Before that, the only experience I had with online play was like one time playing Call of Duty, like the first one, I think, online. Mm-hmm. That's the only time, because and the only reason I remember this, I was very young. My brother was playing it and someone's like username was like corn in my poo and they killed me. And like that's like a core memory now. I don't know what Corn in My Poo is up to nowadays, but like they're a part of the Matty household.
Yeah,
we'll always remember Corn in My Poo. But that's the only experience I have. So this stuff is like very like just before
you
my
just
awareness
missed it.
Of online play. Yeah,
man. Yeah, this supported 2 games: Phantasy Star Online Episode 1 and 2, and Phantasy Star Online Episode 3.
So an exclusive controller.
Yeah,
just for,
that's it,
that's
dude.
Amazing. That's amazing.
It's fucking crazy.
I love that.
Because at this time I was playing, I think, Final Fantasy 11 on PS2, and I had a separate keyboard for that, not like built into the controller. But I just remember seeing this game controller, and I was like, "What the fuck is this? What the fuck, dude?" It's so funny. Like, how crazy is that people made controllers just for like those 2 games? Well, shout out. What were we talking about? Knights of the Old Republic.
Yes,
legendary game. Legendary. All right. Let me see here. We're gonna do. Oh man, I'm all out of whack here because I was looking at so much shit. All right, 2004.
Ooh,
2004. Oh, okay.
This is another extremely
banger year.
Difficult year. Yeah, man. Like you can't blame Xbox fans for loving this brand so much because this year fed us so much that I think we're still hanging on to that feeling.
This is the closest I got to buying an Xbox. Was one this year for stuff this year.
Yeah, just to lay it out for people, we're looking at Halo 2, Burnout 3 is here. I don't think that was exclusive though, but Halo 2, Splinter Cell, Pandora Tomorrow, Ninja Gaiden 1. This is not black, by the way. KOTOR 2, Fable. Just unbelievable, honestly. Yeah. And honestly, all these games I just mentioned are so high impact for me, like Ninja Gaiden, Halo 2, KOTOR 2, Fable. KOTOR 2 is my favorite RPG of all time, though. I think I gotta run it back here.
Mhm.
But for the sake of an interesting conversation, I'll talk about something else here. Fable. Let's get into it a little bit, shall we? Right.
Yeah.
This is building off what a little bit of what I talked about with KOTOR, where you have, hero or villain. In the case of KOTOR, it was light side, dark side. But Fable just gave you so many more little actions that determine that morality throughout. Like, it was just a constantly shifting gauge. And this is when I started to learn I really liked seeing how the physical appearance changed because of that.
Mhm.
So in KOTOR did it as well. I shouldn't, they had like your character's like position in the based on the position in the morality meter when you were looking at light side, dark side, their pose would change, and if you went real dark side, like your eyes would change, you get veins in your face. So it was there too, but Fable was much more prominent. It was like horns on your head. It was just cartoonish shit. You get a halo on your head if you were like a really good guy, that sort of thing. The box art is also just iconic to me. That like reflection of the hero versus the villain. I love that kind of looking into the pool. But what I love about Fable, replaying Lost Chapters a few years ago, you can kill everybody, and I mean everybody.
Mhm.
And no other Fable game does that. People love Fable 2 for like the life sim stuff, and I think Fable is all the better for it. But Fable 1, there's nothing like it in the series. Like, every choice you make has an impact on core characters you meet. It's just a perfectly balanced story where, especially again, if you do the evil playthrough and you just kill everybody, like any major character you meet, just know they can die.
Yeah, that's cool.
And that you have like a personal murder of them. Like, it's not just a glossing over. Like, basically they design the game where you just bring the world to zero over time. And I think that's so brilliant. So I love Fable. It is again, that kind of special combination that KOTOR had of the morality, the choices, the music, the freedom. Fable's world felt a little bit bigger. Albion felt a little bit bigger than KOTOR. And so I really appreciate it for that as well. But they just did such an amazing job on
Yeah.
that, and that made me a fan for life. Ninja Gaiden's here as well. That is just Aura, the video game.
Mhm.
This is where I jumped on the Ria Hayabusa train. I know this was like a NES game,
Mhm.
but for me, the original Xbox is what got me in, specifically Black, but I'll cheat a little bit here. The first game to really just like be built around beating the shit out of you and it doing so fairly, but also feeling so good that when you like styled on a boss, you were like, oh shit, they just kind of let me do that. Like,
Yeah.
running up the wall and backflipping over like the horse back that was charging at you in like one of the first boss fights on the bridge. And then like that's how you evade them in style, and then using your bow and arrow and just like taking them down, and how the boss fight changes once I believe you knock them off of the horse. Like, just I think this is where a lot of my desire and enjoyment of Souls likes was born, because of the
Sure.
feelings that this game gave me, where it's like, oh, you can do like really stylish things and feel really cool while like taking down a boss that has like all these different phases. But Ninja Gaiden 2, man, or Ninja Gaiden 1, sorry, but Ninja Gaiden 2 is also incredible. Ninja Gaiden 1, um, absolutely adored that game. And then Halo 2, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
one of the most impossible video games ever made, just like coming out on top like that. Incredible multiplayer, but also adding to the formula, like dual wielding, playing as the Arbiter. Just chef's kiss, dude. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't even know what to pick for this one, but I'll go with KOTOR 2 because I know for a fact that's like
Yeah,
my
yeah.
favorite
That's your
RPG
that's
of
your
all
jam.
time. But just what a year. Yeah, dude. This is why I just didn't leave Xbox until like after when the PS2 I got a PS2 in my house and we started to get like more exclusives there. But like the OG Xbox exclusive library like just kept me fucking hooked, dude.
Mhm. You missed like a lot of the Japanese role-playing games, I would say, which you love.
Now,
What got you into that?
I guess really so it's so funny. I was like the neglectful, not neglectful, that's not the right word. I was unaware I already liked this stuff, right? So the things I liked weren't anime, weren't weeb shit, right? Is how
Mhm.
I would define it. Like, so I like Dragon Ball Z. I love Kingdom Hearts, right? That was like one of the games that got me into the PS2. I love Kingdom Hearts. I was like, those aren't JRPGs, like,
Right.
even though they obviously are, like, or they're like Japanese made, Japanese styled. I have to admit that it wasn't until Final Fantasy 13 that I really was like I just like how these characters look, and I love the style and the menus and the feeling of progression, and that's what kind of unlocked my brain to going back. And that's what, for like the 360 titles, like that's what got me into games like Lost Odyssey, which is the real Final Fantasy 13. As much as I defend 13 nowadays, like if we got Lost Odyssey instead of 13, I think we'd all be much happier. Like so
Right.
I think that's really what I unlocked it way later in my life. So that's why, like, a lot of people ask me, for example, so I'm Retro Rebound, one of our most popular videos is like my top RPGs of all time. People are like, you should do one for JRPGs. And I'm like, the truth is I have a lot to experience still. Like I haven't played like Xenoblade, Xenosaga, or Gears. Like there's older Persona games I haven't played. There's Dark Cloud. Like it's an innumerable list because
there's a lot.
My Japanese consumption of games as a kid was like tie-in slop.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was just playing a lot of like DBZ games, Naruto games, Nickelodeon games. Like that was a lot because it felt like safer money spent because I knew I liked that shit, So yeah. I was really late on JRPGs, and I'm still working. I'll probably until my 40s be working through my JRPG.
You're never going to catch up. I've been playing Japanese role-playing games like forever, and I'm not.
Yeah, we were just talking about Phantasy Star. That's another one. Like I'm late on that.
You can't play everything. It's just the reality.
I like to pretend I still can.
Sure. Yeah. I like that enthusiasm, though. But yeah, dude, Ninja Gaiden, when this came out, Matty, I was like, holy shit. So, Matty, I grew up playing NES. I had Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2 on NES.
Okay.
So I was familiar with the series. Then I saw it like reborn like this. I was like, what the fuck? And I was, of course, already on the Devil May Cry train at this point. Because this came out years after Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
I was like, holy, like I saw that intro mission of the game, dude, where you're like at the Hayabusa estate and all that.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, this is crazy. I had to borrow a friend's Xbox for that. I was like, I gotta play this right now.
The whole console, that's a classic. Yeah. What I loved about, I think when I first fell in love with Ryu is when you could do the wall bouncing really quickly.
Yeah, so good.
And just like the nowadays I just define it as like, oh, this verticality just adds so much to the level, but like really it was just so cool just watching him like flip back and forth like perfectly straight, doing these like corkscrews. You just knew they had something right then and there before you even like did like the charge attack with the lunar staff, and he was just like twirling this shit all around his body. Yeah, that game it was a game changer for me. But also again, it just shows how right time, right marketing, right place gets you a lot, because like Devil May Cry, like I didn't get to Devil May Cry until 4.
Well, because you were an Xbox guy mostly.
Yeah, I haven't played 1 through 3. I have the HD trilogy now, but yeah, I haven't played 1 through 3.
Yeah,
it's something I really want to do.
Yeah, you weren't gaming on PS2 that much, so you just kind of missed them. Yeah, that's understandable. Fable, also like another one. So I'm kind of like the opposite of you, Matty, where you came into Japanese role playing games later. I came into Western RPGs later. Because I didn't have an Xbox. I didn't grow up playing on PC really at all.
Sure.
Most of my stuff was like Japanese from that point. So, but Fable, I definitely remember like, whoa, this is sick. The idea, like, this was when it was still a really cool novel concept of good and evil, you doing like whatever choice is that, and you evolving as like visually as a character from it.
Yeah.
Was just so sick. And dude, Fable sometimes has like the best vibe ever when you're just like in those towns. Like the intro of Fable 2, I remember, was super good as well.
Oh my god, yeah, the snowfall. Yeah.
Like I'm not totally 100% with like the British humor occasionally, like the fart stuff or whatever. I'm like, but like man, when they like
I'm
give
an easy
you like
customer for that.
Yeah, when they give you like that fairy tale vibe, I'm like, yo, I'm eating this up right now.
Yeah.
So
100%. Yeah. I also, we didn't talk about with that game, the ways you could play the game were so different, I think, from how other games let you play, because you could pick like strength, skill, or will. So basically it was like sword, bow, or magic. And the spells are really cool. I know in Fable 2 they just like turned the spells up a notch, but in Fable 1 it was like really cool to be able to just say like, oh, I played with like all melee, or I went like all magic, and how that would also reflect on your character, because then you could have like the evil horns with like tattoos on your face from going full will. Very, very cool game that just really respected the choices you made with your character and like gave you a lot of real power as you got deeper into it. Just super incredible.
Super good. All right. Last year, 2005.
Okay. Waiting for this shit to load here. There we go. Oh, Ninja Gaiden Black. There you go.
Mhm.
Okay. So this is an interesting year here. Oh, I think I found it. Yeah. Hold on. All right. So this is a tricky year for me because there's current Matty who has played a lot of '05 games now and would rank them accordingly versus what I played at the time. What I played at the time in '05, I was on a Star Wars kick because we'd be 3 years running right now.
Yeah.
Star Wars Republic Commando. I'll start with that just to sort of I just love this
Give
game.
it its flowers. Yeah.
Yeah, like so I think that more squad-based shooters like this or like Ghost Recon and stuff like should be around. What I loved about Republic Commando is that it wasn't afraid to get into the dirty parts of the Clone Wars. Like you had a vibra. It's like one of my favorite melee weapons in a game. Like when you punch an enemy in the face in this game, you'd see your vibroblade would like eject out and you're literally like punching and stabbing them.
Cool.
And the blood would hit your visor and then it would like automatically wipe off. But dude, it was like a pretty fucking bloody game. Like you wouldn't be shooting them and blood would be all over the floor, but it's a particular type of brutal Star Wars that I'd like to see a little bit more of. And I feel like Republic Commando captured that. It's also a little creepy at times. Like one of my favorite gimmicks in Star Wars that KOTOR 2 does in its opening and that Republic Commando also does is boarding an abandoned Republic ship. In KOTOR 2, you get on the Harbinger and only Darth Sion is there and the Sith assassins are there. And it's so creepy. And I love that shit. And then in Republic Commando, it's boarding the ship and the Transoceans are there. And it's the one time you're spread out across as a squad. And it's like the one time you're alone. Because normally you're like, commanding your members of your squad. Like you go fix that. You go plant that bomb. You go heal yourself up. And this time you're just all alone. It's an incredible vibe. So I just want to give that game its flowers. And it has one of the, oh man, it's like an ending that just is, I'll just say it's still sticking with Star Wars fans to this day. I'd love an Imperial Commando or something like that, but it is a beautiful, beautiful video game. It has been ported. I have the platinum trophy for it, but you can get it on any systems. I have the full physical edition on Switch. Wherever you want to play it, you should play it. It's like a sub 10-hour Star Wars first-person shooting story, really cool weapon pickups and attachments that you put on your rifle. There's sniper, shotgun variants. You can just switch them in combat. Like it's a fucking brilliant game, dude. It's so good. That's Matty in 05 as he was, right?
Yeah.
That was my 05 game. It was like more Star Wars. I'm in, dude. This is why I say all the time on like Retro Rebound, I'm like early 2000s Star Wars, bro. Could not top it.
That was
everyone
your bag.
tried to slander the prequels, but like, dude, the games. Dude, can you believe that like a couple of years after this, we get like Force Unleashed 2? So we're getting KOTOR 2. There was Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, Force Unleashed, Lego Star Wars was just beginning. It's fucking disgusting, man. It's just like unbelievable. Like, I don't know how people can hear that and be like, yeah, I didn't like Star Wars in the early 2000s. Like, what happened?
The movies.
Yeah, the movies have, but then Revenge of the Sith is right there. It's like, I mean, come on. You don't want to go there? I got a whole movie poster in my
I know.
Dedicated to
I know. I know. I know.
Dude, hold on. I'm gonna trigger you. Hang on. I got this Anakin Skywalker.
Oh shit, dude.
Right here. Yeah.
Damn.
How about that?
Anakin.
How about that?
How about that, dude?
Anyway.
Anakin Skywalker.
Anyway. Revenge of the Sith is great. That's also a great tie-in game that happened, I think, this same year. So 05, just thank you for everything. Nowadays, what would I pick? Maybe Jade Empire.
Jade Empire, right? Yeah, BioWare. They only made one of those. That's interesting.
They wanted to make a second one, but it got canceled. There was one time the trademark popped up, but I don't know. I mean, BioWare is obviously like fighting for their lives right now, and they've got a lot to prove with their next game. So we're just gonna let them cook and see if they can get back on their feet. But Jade Empire is a very, very interesting game that I wish I played earlier. I mean, it is a lot of like that classic BioWare visual style, but this is a steampunk, mythical Chinese world where it's still got that same light side, dark side dichotomy. I forgot what the actual gauge is called. Out of all the old BioWare games, this is the one I'm least like intimate instant knowledge with. But Jade Empire has a really cool fighting system where you can unlock different styles of fighting as you go along. Like you can attack opponents' chi, you can attack their health bar,
Cool.
that kind of thing. But it's also my least replayed. So like nowadays I'm like, ooh, Jade Empire. But I really had to make a pick here. Oddworld Stranger's Wrath.
Oddworld, Stranger's Wrath.
Dude.
Yeah, you're a big Oddworld guy. Okay, I didn't know this.
Yeah. Oddworld Stranger's Wrath. Like if anyone's never played an Oddworld game before, might I add, this should be your starting one. It's
Okay.
I think Munch's Odyssey is incredible, but I think there's a lot of nostalgia, and also that's like one of those games that like those games where you can avoid the friction points because you know it like the back of your hand.
Yeah.
That is, I think Munch's Odyssey has very few, but because it's kind of like level puzzles, I do think it's a type of game that like some would not enjoy as much as I do, but I love how like all your decisions affect your they don't call it karma, they call it kwarma. And that changes different conversations in the game. And at the end, the result of your choice, like it can that game has some fucking messed up cutscenes. Anyway, I would say if you're gonna start anywhere with Oddworld, Stranger's Wrath, you play as the stranger, he's a bounty hunter, and it is both a third and first person video game. Very rare thing outside of, I guess, Bethesda games, really. But the idea is that you're bounty hunting across the Oddworld, and you can capture your opponents, dead or alive, bring them back. But the arsenal of weapons you get, before I even get to the story, the arsenal of weapons that you can get here is so unique, man. There's just literally nothing like it, bro. I really think that is why this game sings to me. So anyone who's played Oddworld is familiar with these creatures, but you can get like fuzzles, for example. And instead of like, oh, here's our shotgun equivalent, like you can get like you can collect insects off the ground, basically. It's like, oh, let me grab this slug.
Yeah.
And that will be like your shotgun slug. So they have moments like that, but the fuzzles are just like you can shoot them and set traps and then lure enemies in, and then they'll step on them and the fuzzles will jump them. And they're these like cute, small, fuzzy creatures that turn very vicious and just tear them apart. Or you can use like a electric, I think it's called like a bloatfly. And this is like, if you wait a second, it'll charge up. And then when you shoot it, it stuns the enemy and knocks them out. And so that's kind of like your non-lethal approach. And so there's lethal and non-lethal approaches, and like trap setting and different ways of shooting. Like your assault rifle on your thing is basically a bunch of bee stings. And you'll literally see them, like when they die, they'll just be on the ground with all the bee, like hundreds of bees just stuck in them, dude.
That's cool.
So just the reactivity, but also the first person shooting, the weapons you get, how your crossbow just loads these different looking bits of live ammunition, and how you collect it from the world is awesome. The voice acting is fucking impeccable. I'll just leave that to Discovery. Just you guys got to hear it for yourself. Like especially the stranger's voice. It's just unlike anything you've rarely heard before. My friends and I always imitate this. And then the story, I'll just say, really good, especially in the second half.
Okay.
Brilliant video game. Video game. The early 2000s. I mean, Oddworld was obviously very special on the PS1, but as I've now illustrated here, I was late to the PlayStation. Like I'm still experiencing the PS1 catalog. There are games like Mega Man Legends 2 that I still have to go through. But there's like, Vagrant Story as well. Legend of Dragoon. Like there's a lot of good shit I've still missed out on, but I'm working through it. Like I've played games like Dino Crisis, love that. Legends 1, I played that, love that. Like tons of really great Metal Gear Solid 1 I played for the first time last year. Like I'm finally getting through that, and what an incredible library, dude. Like I could see it having just as much of an impact on me as the original Xbox did.
Yeah, sure.
But Oddworld I know has roots on the PS1, but to me, like this early 2000s Xbox stretch where they went more 3D. When I spoke to Lauren Lanning about it, he like specifically about Munch's Odyssey, he does not agree with me. I don't know if he feels different now, but when I spoke about it with him 10 years ago now, he was very much like, EA almost fucking killed us with, he talked about that with me. He said like, it was just a really rough go. He was like, I hate Munch's Odyssey. Again, I'd be curious to see what he feels now, but I distinctly remember that staying out to me, because I was saying to him how impactful it was to like our house. So I was like, this game is so good. And he's like, oh, I hate that game. I was just like, that's unbelievable. But I don't remember how he felt about Stranger's Wrath, but just a wonderful, wonderful video game, man. Just, yeah. Early 2000s Xbox, very weird, very experimental. And it's why I think so many of us were just like very appreciative of those times. This is an exclusive you could really only imagine being on this platform where they were like, fuck it. It's weird. Let's do it.
Sure, yeah.
And that sort of spirit is really missing from Xbox. They went weird this generation in a wrong direction, like artsy weird instead of like, like let's make a game about pots fighting each other instead of like an actual interesting weird game. Yeah, that kind of, I'm gonna pick on Double Fine a little bit there. But just what a wonderful game, man. Really, really love Oddworld Stranger's Wrath. Can't recommend it enough.
Yeah. I'd have to pick Psychonauts if I did. Man, I played that game later too. That game was awesome. So creative, dude. Incredible game. And Psychonauts 2 is like better somehow.
Yeah, I know. Psychonauts 2 is, if we went through the whole lineup, Psychonauts 2 is my 2021 pick for sure.
It's so good. Such a game. Such a good game.
How's there not a third, bro? Like,
they're making, your fucking plot games, dude. They're killing it
walk
up.
Around as a lighthouse instead.
Yeah, running around as a lighthouse. Yeah, they're doing that. Shout out to Half-Life 2 as well, but that's a PC game for me.
Yeah. The interesting roots here with Valve and Xbox when you think about it, because they had like the orange box as well and whatnot. Like, I didn't realize it started back on the original Xbox though with some of these games. I think I saw Half-Life 1 as well, but
yeah, Half-Life 1 was on PS2 as well.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know that.
That's where I played it.
Valve did a reverse Xbox. They just like gradually just brought everything back to the middle.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, just this is really bringing back these opening years. Like, no wonder I developed such a passion for gaming. Like, just looking at them as a list and just seeing year by year, it's like, oh man, just countless good shit. And this is when I was like discovering GameStop and secondhand markets where I was getting these things for like $10-20 and it was like very affordable.
Yeah.
Where just really changed everything. Ultimate Spider-Man was 2005. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh, Lego Star Wars was 05 as well. Wow. Wait, so they did Lego Star Wars, Republic Commando, and the tie-in game in the same year? Wow. That's just processing.
Pushing it out, dude. Yeah.
Conquer Live and Reloaded was 05 as well. Man. Stubbs the Zombie. Whew.
Stubbs.
What's this Castlevania game? There's an Xbox Castlevania game, Curse of
Darkness. That was on PS2 as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think I'm out of the exclusive category now, but hey, did you ever play Path of Neo, the Matrix game?
I did, yes.
Yeah, that game was sick.
I did. That was before the movie, right? Am I thinking of the right game, Matrix? Let me double check that. Oh, no, you know what? I don't think I played this one. I played another Matrix game.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What was it? I want to say I think, wasn't there another Matrix game? Maybe there wasn't.
Enter the Matrix.
Yeah, Enter the Matrix is what I played. Yeah, I remember that game just being whatever. It was like between 1 and 2, I think. That was like the whole thing for it.
Yeah, some of these reviews are interesting. Like, they gave the Nightmare Before Christmas a 65 on Metacritic, but I'm pretty sure that was like a Devil May Cry clone.
Yeah.
People love that
I haven't played it, but I think it is as well.
Yeah. Wow, look at God, we got so many games. Playboy the Mansion? What is this? Hang on.
Oh, Playboy game.
Talk Xbox gave it a 78 and said it has a decent overall gameplay, good audio, decent graphics, and a good feel for the Playboy lifestyle. That was the highest score it got. Wow. I've never heard of this.
Yeah.
Xbox Addict, though, gave it a 20.
Wow.
Or 2 out of 10. They said they tried to bring us a game in which there was sex, but they don't deliver. I would have been happier with brief movie clips of nude or scantily clad models than with this silly imitation of intercourse. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, the description is now you can be Hef. Playboy the Mansion blends state-of-the-art social simulation with traditional role-playing and empire-building gameplay. As Hugh Hefner, you play the Playboy Mansion and magazine into a dynamic cultural icon and powerful brand. Rub shoulders with stunning women and stimulating celebrities as you pursue the ultimate Playboy lifestyle. Grow famous and gained exclusive access to the Playboy archives, including footage of the world-famous Playboy Mansion. This is the ultimate lifestyle game, allowing the gamer to play Hef and live the good life. The player is in charge of running the Playboy empire and must put out a magazine each month. In order to generate content for the magazine, the virtual Hef will throw incredible parties with celebrities and rock stars in tow. The social management of the parties will enable the player to acquire content for the magazines, including the unique sexy photo shoot feature, which lets the gamer use to get his or her cover shot. With a broad depth of gameplay and social simulation experience of the ultimate lifestyle, Playboy the Mansion lets a gamer play Hef, build the dream, and live the good life. How about that?
How
You
about
sold
that?
or what?
Damn. Yeah, it's gotta get it, man. Gotta pick that up. Let's see here. Sweet Greymane Jones wrote in, said, "Howdy, boys. Primarily a PlayStation fan. I didn't buy an Xbox until the Green Halo Edition came out. My Xbox fan friend was infuriated when I opened it up at GameStop and immediately traded in the copy of Halo it came with. I wanted it for Morrowind and TOCA2? Why can't I think of what that is?
Abbreviation is for that.
TOCA2. I can't think. Sorry, dude.
I don't know.
Two of my friends had Xboxes, so I played plenty of its offerings, but there were games on it I was interested in that weren't on PlayStation. 2001. Dave Mara. This is his picks. Dave Mara, Freestyle BMX 2. Hasn't been a BMX game this good since. Has there been a game in general for BMX since then? I still don't think about how ridiculous tricks anytime I hear one of the awesome songs they're in. 2002, Morrowind. I'd never played anything like this, and it was enthralled. I knew absolutely nothing about it going in, so imagine how blown my mind was discovering that I was becoming how do you pronounce this?
The Nerevarine.
The Nerevarine. What the fuck is that?
It's basically like your Dragonborn, your
the
Nerevarine.
Coming the Nerevarine.
Yeah, your geeky name for your main character.
Yeah,
your
okay.
Starborn.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I didn't know they did that in all of them.
Yeah. Every Bethesda game has like a title, like the Soul Survivor, the Lone Wanderer. Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah. 2003
is Project Gotham Racing 2. My first introduction to online competitive multiplayer and trash talking. We ran to buy mics at Walmart in the middle of the night after getting shit talked to. That's pretty funny, dude.
I love that. Just like couldn't handle it. Had to get the clap back, torture other people.
2004, Rally Sport Challenge 2, developed by Digital Illusions CE. The Battlefield guys, just an awesome feeling rally game, an excellent campaign progression, and DLC. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
In 2005, Operation Flashpoint Cold War Crisis, a game I always wanted to try, but didn't own a PC. My first mill sim. Loved it. Others would too, as it became Arma, Daisy, and PUBG. Interesting.
Yeah. So I also looked into this Toka too. It's also a racing game.
Okay.
By Codemasters. It was called Toka Race Driver 2. More to my point here, he's listed multiple racing games here that I've never heard of, where I was just like, how many times can we race and race differently? But there are people like, let me get your name, Sweet Greymane Jones, that just can't get enough.
Can't get enough of it,
race
man.
To your heart's content.
Yeah.
This is why we call you all the Forza Bros. There's just a demographic of you that just can't help but get behind the wheel. I can only imagine what you're like in real life, like where you're just like, well, what, road trip? I'm in.
Yeah.
Amped
up. All right, let's not get amped up now, Matty.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Halo Campaign Evolved.
Okay, good transition.
And the Master Chief Collection, since you've been playing both. Let me read this first, though. This is from Curry Powder 84. Hey, Summoners, Matty. I know you're not all thrilled with Campaign Evolved, but it seems like most of the game is combat evolved beat for beat. I'm sorry to say, but diehard Halo fans might be the hardest to please, as you cannot change a single thing without there being outrage. Sprinting will forever be debated. Power-ups were a big controversy. Changes in lighting and art style, etc. If you asked a room of 100 diehard Halo fans how to move the series forward, there would be an all-out skirmish in the room. I'm not a fan of 343, but I'm just asking, what can they possibly do that Halo fans would actually accept at this point? Now, I don't know your qualms or anything like that, Matty, with the game. I just know you weren't the biggest fan of it. I played through it yesterday. I finished the main campaign.
Okay.
And I did one of the newer missions. So I haven't seen everything the game has to offer quite yet.
You've seen enough.
Damn, dude.
I'm curious. I'm just curious what your 2 cents are. Like, where did you fall on it?
Sure.
Did you like it, or I don't know what your
from my
attachment is to
standpoint,
Halo 1.
I haven't played through Halo Campaign Evolved since before 3 came out, so it's been a
Okay.
long time for me. And I liked Campaign Evolved back in the day. I remember being like, why does anyone criticize how much this shit like just reuses like environments over and over again?
Yeah, the
like,
front half is the second half as well.
Yeah, well, it's just like, yeah, a lot of these areas look like I'm going through an area and they look exactly the same as an area I was just in a little bit ago. Like, I don't know how many times I'd go through like across a bridge, then into a room, like this big open area. And there's like, I forgot what level it is.
Assault on the control room.
Yeah, maybe like that. And I'm like, there's like
the snow level.
There's like 6 rooms like you're exactly like that you go through, it feels like.
Yeah.
But of course, Halo blew me away when I was just like the sandbox nature of it at the time. So I'm willing to put up with stuff like that. No big deal. So playing through this time, first of all, I was like, man, there's a lot more elites than I remember. Is that something?
What difficulty did you play on?
Legendary.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe that's a legendary thing, so I wasn't exactly sure.
Yeah, they fucked the balancing.
Oh,
it's one of my biggest complaints.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'll let you go into all that. But I think it was, when I think of like Halo 1, I can't picture it in my mind super well, like the visual style of it and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, yeah, it's fine. It didn't like blow me away, but I was like, it's fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
The new mission I did one new mission. I was like, oh, that was okay. Like, whatever. I know apparently later on there's like some characters that people don't like that get introduced. But I was like, oh, I'm with Johnson. This is kind of cool or whatever. And there was like this...
the opening to the prequels is all right. Like the actual gameplay opening, it's solid. Yeah.
There was like this... I thought that was cool. There was like this one room you go into. It was like the Covenant's like training or arena room or like something where they like battling each other. It's like a gladiator kind of thing.
Yeah, it's sick. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, dude, the sand. I was like, this is some Unreal Engine 5 sand right here. This looks really nice.
It really is.
But that part was cool. But yeah, I haven't seen the rest of the game.
Yeah.
But overall, I thought it was it was decent, whatever remake or whatever. I haven't played. I know they did like the anniversary edition, which I never played, and all that kind of stuff. So
it's worse. Yeah.
I'm not really sure about all that stuff, but overall, I'm like, it's fine, whatever.
Yeah. A lot of people's opinion of Anniversary Edition is so low that I think they're making excuses for this game. Really, it's like, has anyone played Anniversary Edition? It's like, yes, absolutely. Anniversary Edition is worse, mainly because they, like, for example, in the Flood missions, which now with Campaign Evolved, like, I think they did an excellent job with the Flood missions. Like, to start off on a compliment, like the lighting, the gore, the horror element, like, fucking bang up job, right? But the Anniversary Edition like removed all of the gore. They just polished all of the environments, so it was just no horror. The lighting was really bright, so it just like it completely trounced on what the original accomplished. So they did a good job getting that back.
Yeah,
with the Campaign Evolved remake, and kind of, I think, saying a delayed apology. Not how I received it, but like I think for a lot of fans, they're like, okay, they got that. they're kind of capturing the Flood visually, artistically, lighting wise. It's definitely the best case for why Unreal Engine Halo could be pretty great, and why horror Halo has been long overdue.
Yeah, I agree.
So they did like a really good job with that sort of stuff. I think some guns feel pretty good, even if they don't sound great. But to kind of the writing we got here from Curry Powder, yeah, diehard Halo fans are hard to please, but also I think I'm not really trying to always go on the offensive against Halo Studios, but the reality is they just don't get it. They don't. And like it's the little things that diehard fans know, and the reason they're, quote, annoying or impossible to please is because we're sitting here going, if we know these little things that we could put on a list that add up to make the thing special, then why don't you, who's your full-time job and dedicated studio name, like your whole cause is understanding and creating Halo games, why do we feel we get it more than you? Like, why is that the case?
Right. Was this an internal game? Was this an internal game? Like, was this actually Halo Studios, or was this outsourced?
This was reportedly outsourced.
Okay.
Which already says a lot.
Right. Yeah.
How much do you care? There's also just the nature of the project in itself. I think expectations should be higher for this remake because we do have the Master Chief Collection.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
We have Halo 1 very easily accessible, not just in campaign, but in multiplayer. It's all right there. Plus the Anniversary Edition, if you ever wanted to go back to that too. We got Anniversary Edition on 360 as well. We had the original Halo, and the original Halo was available on back compat. we've had the original Halo available in so many different ways currently that Campaign Evolved needed to do special things because it's the 4th time we got this game. It's the same shit. It's the same energy I had with Star Fox, where I'm just like, who fucking cares about this game, man? Like, it's the same game that they sold to you on the 3DS that they sold to you many times before, So with Campaign Evolved, like, I think the expectation should be higher, or at the very least, it should be a routine now. Like, you've been through this 4 times, like where we've played it as a fan base. Like, this should be, what are we doing that we can't accomplish before? And there's little moments of that, like, I always like to bring up on Truth and Reconciliation. There's a chapter called Belly of the Beast where you go up into the Covenant ship. Originally at the cutscene, now it's just you straight up load into that, like no loading screen at all. It just happens. And like that stuff's cool. Like I don't want to say it like changes the game, but it's like, oh, okay, we couldn't do that before. Again, the flood really, I think, is the point where you're like, oh, the detail and the environment, the blood, the extra like infected parts of that environment, just like, you could see they really pulled a lot more out of it, where you go, okay, we're justifying it a little bit more here. Adding some new hallways and twists and turns in an otherwise very long combat dungeon and library. Cool. But the game just feels very trapped between, let's be the definitive Halo 1 game. Let's change a lot. And let's be what you remember of Halo 1. And to your point, what you mentioned earlier about, basically the second half of the game, basically 2 betrayals and on. Yeah, it's a lot of like, okay, you're running around these same environments you've seen. And that problem compounds more because it's a remake. You could have changed things like that, but let's go on the preservation standpoint. Like, you want to keep it the same. Then why are all the encounters different on higher difficulties? So you mentioned the elites. I played on heroic the first go around, and my thought was like, if I like this enough, I'll go for legendary or do lasso or something like that. Go for the skulls, but spoiler, I didn't really like it enough. I have played, as I mentioned earlier in this episode, Halo 1 a stupid amount of times. And this game was almost like a form of gaslighting where I'm like, was it like this?
Yeah.
I'm not saying it like it has to be a 1-to-1 emulation, but the amount of elites and special enemy types that were spawning on levels like Truth and Reconciliation, Assault in the Control Room, 2 Betrayals, I was like, there's no fucking way. I was like, there's no, like, I haven't played heroic on original Halo in a while. So I fired back up. I'm like, I'm running through this shit again. I put on heroic. I get to Truth and Reconciliation, where there was like this one encounter where like the Pelican's supposed to fly in and you have your Marines join you. And the difference between these 2 missions, like they throw like at least 20 enemies at you in Campaign Evolved for heroic versus like a very steadily building encounter in the original. And again, it's these little things that matter, because a lot of people are like, oh, it's an overblown encounter, but it's like the whole fucking game stretches into that, where it's like, oh, there's like 19 elites in this room. And oh, I can no longer one-shot them in the head with a sniper on higher difficulties, which you can do on any difficulty in campaign or Combat Evolved. And that is it's these little things.
Changing the balance pretty much, yeah.
It changes the balance. And so it changes the pace. And so it cascades. There's little bits of tension that exist in Halo 1, like having health bars for all your Marines, or the fact that by default, friendly fire is off. So, that's a fundamental misunderstanding. One of the reasons Halo 1 had minor bits of gameplay tension is you needed your Marines. You needed them to live. You counted on them. And so driving around the Warthog and trying to find the best route through and staying out of enemy fire, it didn't matter if these guys didn't fucking die, basically, in this game. But in the original, it mattered because their covering fire helped a lot, drew a little bit of an attachment. Not like, oh, I care for them deeply as a character, but it mattered. When they died, you're like, fuck, man. Like when they fell off the Scorpion and Assault in the Control Room, you felt something because you're like, that was my supporting fire.
Yeah.
That tension. Countless little things like that. Sticking with Assault on the Control Room, there's just ways lines are delivered where Cortana in the remake is very fascinated by the Forerunner tech. But in the original Halo, they were going for more of she is AI. She is not a personality quite fully yet. She is more mission focused. She is more direct. She is your kind of operator in this. And her lines are delivered as such. And the way they mix that with the music, where like when you first start to learn about the flood and it builds up, that is like a very small thing that turns into an extremely memorable moment when you transfer right into the swamps and you're like, oh shit, like what the hell's going on here? And like, what are the Covenant running from? Again, they did a great job with the Flood in the remake, but my point being is these little things. If you notice, I don't talk about sprint. I don't talk about ADS because I think that's true. They'll be debated forever, but it's these very tiny things from encounters to understanding how special enemy types function. For example, in the original Halo, hunters, you would have to get close to them to open them up. Otherwise, they'd hold up their shield and they'd block all your fire. You could still kill them from the front, but it would take a significant amount more shots. But when you got close to them, then they'd open the shield and swing at you and dash.
Mm-hmm.
But the way it was paced, you would try to sidestep them or jump over them, and their back was wide open where you shoot them. In this game, they just shield hug the whole time and just look at you. So until when I say in their lap, I mean like literally like my left hand or your right is the hunter and this is Chief.
Yeah.
Whereas in the original, it was something kind of like this. So he would dash at you and you'd get around him and it was a good flow. But he was a huge threat because if he connected with that, especially on the higher difficulties, you're dead. But if you're playing on heroic where there's more hunters, their shots do more damage, and their fucking melees one hit you and you got to get this close, broken. And it's those little things where it's like he's not even opening up now. And the elites have different health and way of tackling their health where I can't even shoot them in the head to drop them from a distance now. So the sniper's nerfed. And things like the reticle on the AR now matter significantly more because in the original Halo, I would use that as a spray to take out all the little spores from the Flood. Now it's a precise firing thing, so I have no method of spraying down the Flood. It's those little things that they just don't get. And it's why, as you see people online are picking apart, like, hey, they took out the seat changing animation in the Warthog. Originally in Halo, it's like, I'm going to the back.
Yeah.
So you see him like crawl over and get into the gunner seat. Just little things like that. Now they just teleport you. All these little things.
It's a death by 1,000 cuts, basically.
Exactly. All these little things. There's no big thing. That's why I said to people, I'm like, it's fine. Like if you're never going to touch a PC, you're never going to touch an Xbox, you'll never sniff Halo Master Chief Collection, then sure, go ahead. You're not going to really give a fuck about anything I'm talking about. But anyone who has the opportunity to experience otherwise, you owe it to yourself to play it the way it was best executed. Not just because I'm a Bungie diehard. I have my critiques of even Bungie from that era. But because this team does not get it. They do not understand Halo. And their stories show that. And the fact that they're not having any new Halo stories. Halo Infinite was incomplete. They're finishing Halo Infinite through books. And they're outsourcing remakes because they only know the way you'll love a story is by retelling an old one. Says everything that needs to be said. I'm deeply curious, and I have my own predictions about where this team ends up in the future, because I feel like their usefulness with this IP has expired completely, especially if this was just fully outsourced, like it's been said.
Yeah.
You know? And if they are true managers, then all of these issues are very visible to me. I'm not even getting into things like art style where I'm like, yeah, the Unreal, shiny, glossy look.
Yeah, what did you think about that?
I wasn't a fan.
Okay.
But, you know, again, there are parts like the Flood stuff that looked really good. But stuff like Assault on the Control Room where you had like snow that obscured your vision, or Truth and Reconciliation, which felt very much dark, where they had like light sources throughout Truth and Reconciliation, the remake, that I think brightened it too much. The lighting for some of the fucking missions in the prequels, the second one, you'll see it whenever you finish it. I think the lighting is so blown out. There's no tone, no atmosphere. It's just like very vibrant colors plus bright lights. So the vibrant colors just are like, oh God, dude. Like, it's artistically, I think, like, if you look from a technical level, I don't think anyone looks at the picture quality and goes, oh, that's bad. But like, I think from an artistic direction, I think it's fucking horrible, frankly.
Okay.
You know, so I don't think they, outside of the Flood, did a great job with that. But they did the Flood so well that it really does provide almost a balance to the scale. Pillar of Autumn looks fine, I think. Some of the final missions look fine. But they just, yeah, it's like the detail in the environment, like probably I would wager a guess that the original Xbox used things like the snow in Assault on the Control Room, which was a very open level, the same way Silent Hill used fog, right? Like they used it because it was like a technical shortcoming. Yeah. And so it was an excuse to only load a certain level around you. But in Combat Evolved, like it added so much to that kind of biome diversity. Same thing with like the smog in the swamps. And a lot of that's been cleared up, and for a more just like dark swamp with like the light sources being like fire. So it's a little bit different, but I don't think it's for the worse. So I don't think Unreal Halo really proved itself here, and that's not even getting into the bugs. Did the AI break for you a lot?
We had to restart it. So I played through Legendary with my girlfriend. We played together through it. She's a big Halo enjoyer.
Did she
we
like
had
it?
to restart a mission, I remember, because of a bug. It was the beach level. I can't think of what it's called.
Oh, Silent Cartographer.
Yeah,
Okay.
like the door, you have the door's locked and you have to like go do something to lower it. The door just like didn't unlock. Like we got the cutscene of the door going down with the elite coming out. It was just locked. And on the second to last level, I crashed 3 times and I had to roll back my drivers. And I looked this up. This is an issue that's been going on with the game. So I had to go back to older drivers to get through the game.
Wow.
So I was like, okay. I was playing
worse than me then.
I was playing my girlfriend was playing the Steam version. She didn't seem to have this problem, but I was playing the Xbox store version or whatever.
Huh.
Because I got a code from Xbox. I was playing just that digital version and it didn't work for me. Yeah. Me just hating the Xbox store more on PC.
Yeah, not really helping their cause here. So yeah, I played on PlayStation because I was just very curious.
Oh, dude, yeah, of course.
That. Yeah, I was just like, I have to try this. And my main issues were within the missions. I didn't have any crashes, but I did have the LODs breaking clearly. Like the game frame rate was fine, but the actual like lowering of frames for the per animation for the objects in the world lower during like huge firefights. So if I was like that fight I was talking about in Truth and Reconciliation, I have it in my video where like I throw a grenade and everything in the environment moves. The elites move, the boxes are moving, and it's all choppy as fuck, dude.
Damn.
It looks horrible. That was a really bad one. And then also there were points where the enemy AI just didn't engage. Like I stepped right in front of them and like the elites were still patrolling.
Oh, weird.
There's something with, I think, the way when the doors open and they register you, because there were times I opened doors and the encounter was how I remembered. Like you'd open a door in the library and there would normally be like a member of the Flood jumping right at you. And it was like a cool kind of horror thing. But you would open doors in the library now and they'd just be standing in an idle thing. And then they detect you because the door was open now. And then they turn and attack you. And it's like, it's like the encounters aren't they're actually technically broken all throughout the game, but you don't notice it because it's such a like fraction of a moment. But it's the difference between the original where you open the door and like here's 2 elites that are like, you know, warding in your face and they're like taunting you before they're about to kill you.
I love that. I love the wart.
Or diving at you.
Yeah.
They also changed a lot of the elite dialogue on a side note that like they made them more like, you know, religious and they still wart, but they're not as like cocky taunting.
Yeah.
And like instead, which I think hurts the game a little bit because then when they're getting chased by the Flood, you're like, oh fuck, like they're scared of something for sure. They're getting their just desserts now. But in this game, they're like, our glorious mission has been complete. A lot of that kind of talk. Anyway, the opening of doors, I think when I had it in the original, it was a lot of like you'd open it and they would dive at you or go for you versus this game where it's like the door opens, they're like, oh, there you are. And then they turn to you and attack you. So a lot of that too. That was like the most buggy shit I personally experienced between the AI and the kind of LODs breaking. Because otherwise, you know, it didn't crash, thank goodness. Otherwise, I think I would have been far more scathing in my review. But yeah, dude, it's just I don't want to say terrible. Right. That would be very reactionary right now as I let it digest. But I've played a lot of good shit this year. I was talking earlier the year. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to make a worst games of the year list. Definitely feels like a candidate. For me as a diehard Halo fan, I'm like, yeah, dude, like this series deserves. And the other thing is like, it just shows the lowering value this series has, not for Xbox really. We'll see where that goes with Asha Sharma's reign. What I'm talking about is really from a fan perspective where people are defending this. I'm like, yeah, I think people don't expect much from this anymore. And like, they don't think Halo is capable of just like pure greatness like we got. And they're like, it's fine. It's like, what's the big deal? It's like, it's Halo, dude. It's the Xbox franchise. Like this should be Final Fantasy VII levels type of like, oh shit, they really got it.
Production, care,
like,
or whatever.
They really pushed it in ways that we never imagined. I love Halo 1, but I'm not saying there was never room for improvement.
Right.
This game had no idea what it wanted to be, I feel. I'd be surprised if that wasn't the case. There's so many points where it's like, oh, you could have improved that. Like everyone I think would have been for them trying to change the library mission completely.
Mm-hmm.
That's like easily considered like the blocker where people are like, oh, it's like 40 minutes of shooting. So I don't know. They just stopped at certain points that they should have kept going, and they kept going in certain points like in counterbalancing where it's like, dude, it was fine. Like, why the fuck would you mess with that?
Yeah.
Weapon tuning is one thing, but like in counterbalancing, like literally the amount of enemies there and how they are spawned and how they attack you, why would you ever tamper with that?
It's just like, I don't know.
That's
it's
like
like
blueprint you copy.
I guess like you've already put out like multiple versions of this game.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe swing for the fences a little more.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like, it's cool to add in new missions and all that stuff. I think that's like a good new thing to add, even though I don't know the quality of the rest of them. That's at least an interesting thing. Yeah. But I mean, let's be honest, this was a thing for PlayStation people.
Yeah. Yeah, it was for a different audience. Yeah, the prequel missions, now you bring it up. I was not a big fan. I think they're very, very anticlimactic. Like, not just, oh, that's all it amounted to, but I'm just saying in general, like Halo missions are built upon like mission by mission structure, and like every checkpoint is like, oh, here, like we've been ramping to this. But each mission is better than the last, is how I think of it. That's, I think, again, the exercise of little things amounting into big things, but just like a great example of them not getting the little things. Like I talked about this in my review. You like walk into you board a Covenant ship, as you know, to open it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then what is one of the first things you see after a few encounters is a weapon rack by the Covenant full of human weapons. And these are the things that I know people are going to go like, oh, this fucking guy. But like, it's just such a staggering level. Like, you know what the original Halos did? They'd put dead Marines on the ground and they'd put their weapons near them. So there was a little bit of like, oh, this is why they're here. But this team just is like, fuck it, just put it there, dude. Like, that's just what the ends justify the means.
Mm-hmm. Let me push back slightly on this one, because I knew this was a point of contention for you, actually. I did hear you talk about this.
Okay.
So I was looking out for this in this level. There was one I did see that was just like a weapon rack with Marine things on it. No context. I was like, okay, fair criticism by Matt.
You're talking about the very big?
There's one later on, though. You go into a room and there's a bunch of Marine stuff. But there was like a bunch of like Marine boxes kind of like implying that they stole this shit to me.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, more context there. That's that good. One. Okay.
That one was in my review. I texted my editor, Dan, and I was just like, there was a different one I was thinking of, but it conveys the point well enough, whatever.
Yeah.
That one is fine because by that point in the mission where you're at, yes, there's like some context to like these things are here for at least some kind of reason.
Yeah.
But the one I'm talking about is like
it's very
minute
early,
10.
Right?
Like, yeah, you get off the ship, you go up around the bend, and there's this small little purple canister that's just got like battle rifles lined up. And I'm like, there's been no story development on this. Like, we're attacking you. And you have these lined up here. Again, it's a nitpick, and I fully admit that. I mean, I will not sit here and like beat the game over the head for this specifically, but this is, again, like the little things that go a long way when they all come together. Because again, the fun, it's Halo is a game all about fundamentals. Like, yeah, like it's just strictly that.
Yeah.
And so this is what drove me back to Master Chief Collection, because it was a level of like similar to Redfall a bit, where I was like, let me just check the taste all around here. I always liked it when I feel very strongly. There's security and confidence in the opinion, but there's also a level of like, I'm going to go back to the originals and make sure, hey, this isn't nostalgia blinding me. And I'm just saying, like, I'm done taking for granted that I can just load up Master Chief Collection, whatever, and play some multiplayer.
Yeah.
I've been playing a shit ton of Halo 3 and Reach multiplayer with some buds, and it's just such a fucking good time, man.
I think it's such a mistake.
It's a shame, though, you got to go back this far to find fun. That's how I feel about it.
I mean, I think it's a mistake not putting multiplayer in this game still. I mean, it's just like, come on, dude.
I agree.
It's like a core pillar of this series.
I agree completely.
I mean, it's like, I know they took out the multiplayer of The Last of Us part 2, or in like part 2, but it's like, when people think of The Last of Us, some think of multiplayer, but most people think about the campaign.
Yeah.
When you think of, like, when I think of Halo 1, it's like both 50-50 for me.
Yeah, 100%.
Like a humongous part of the game. So I don't know why, especially with PlayStation, because like you don't have Halo on PlayStation still. And if this was the kind of thing, I guess seems like a weird thing to leave out, in my opinion.
I agree. I feel like they were avoiding the cascading of like, well, then we do multiplayer, we have to do Forge. And I
No,
feel
you
like they
don't.
just said,
Just put in like the
I agree.
basic whatever that was in there and be like, this is just like, you just have online multiplayer, but the maps that were there for the original. And just leave it like that. Just leave it. You don't need to add anything to it. Just leave it.
I agree. It makes me sad because I want them to succeed. And I know I go after this team a lot, but it's because it's so insanely frustrating. It's like, what don't you guys get? Like, you have countless Halo fans. Like, I'm not even someone who dedicates a ton of content to Halo, but there are countless great Halo creators out there that break down like bit by bit, lore by lore, mission by mission, what makes every one of them special. There is no reason why so many little things should be missed that amount to the bigger picture, and why your fans seemingly get it more, and that your failure to execute is your biggest enemy. Again, my friend put it best when we were playing Master Chief Collection. The first night we fired it up, I mean, it wasn't even in spite of it. It was just like, we just let the moment take over and just had a fucking blast playing Reach multiplayer. And when we were about to hop off, he's like, man, it really sucks that we have to go this far back to like 2010 to find
that does
Halo.
Suck. That does suck.
And that's why I said, like, I said to him, I was like, I'm very grateful that we can even do this though. Like that we can readily find matches. We're playing this on Steam. Like, this is an awesome thing to be able to do.
Yeah, it is.
But it's so true that like I had fun with Infinite. I think Infinite's solid. It's definitely out of anything from the 343 era the best they've made. But it's still like the way it was handled post-launch, the incomplete story, just like so fucking tragically flawed.
Great
such a
foundation.
Messy game.
Just they didn't go further with it.
Yeah. And honestly, it was a great foundation to just do another Infinite style game, but here's more biome diversity. Here's more interesting mission structure. Here's the same multiplayer. Like, they had the template, and then they go to Unreal Engine because and what's so funny is, like, if the rumors are true from Rebs Gaming, their recent multiplayer game squashed, no campaign in development. So I'm like, what did you guys switch engines for if you still are having massive development issues? It's almost like it's the team and not the tech.
And it's like, what are you guys doing? I mean, Halo Infinite came out, 2021? Yeah. It's been a while.
Exactly. Like, this should be a year we hear about the next Halo game. Yeah. It should be.
At least a 5 years or something. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have your full team supporting Infinite. Like, this is 100% the year we should hear about it. And I think this is the year we were supposed to hear about that Project Ecker, which is the canceled multiplayer game.
Yeah.
So unless Rebs Gaming suddenly got bad sourcing, because there's some people who are questioning it, I'm like, look, dude, everything he leaked about Campaign Evolved came true. Like, his whole thing about like Campaign Evolved's prequel missions are going to be about Sergeant Johnson. They're going to be about a more religious covenant, blah, 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 blah. It's going to have this, it's going to have that. Like, every fucking thing. Like, he's clearly got people in the building who are telling him these things because he got everything right. So right now I'm inclined to believe him on Ecker. He's provided gradual updates. It's not like he started with it's canceled. He started with like, here's what it's going to be. Here's what it started as. Here's what it turned into.
Yeah.
And then months later, he's like, it's canceled.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah. So we will get a story eventually. I have no doubt about it. Like, I can't imagine Schreier's not sniffing around here just any day now. I mean, but until then, I'll be playing Halo Combat or Halo Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, that's the definitive way to play these games.
Yeah, so good.
I don't know. Like, for me, it was interesting playing through this game again. Hold on. I got to give a shout out to that prequel mission, because I do think the one I played, just the one, there was some cool encounters. Like I mentioned, that sand area where they were kind of like training and stuff like that.
I would say that was the best part of the entire thing.
That was cool. There's like a little ghost there. You can fuck around a little bit. Some turrets, some fun, so like sandboxy kind of stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, giving me options. That's what I like about Halo for how I want to handle these encounters. There's like a room later on. It's like a huge ass room. It's like this big sphere or whatever with multiple levels, and there's like weapons sprinkled throughout, and guys come in different quadrants like over time. And I was like, that was a really fun encounter. Actually, I had a lot of fun doing that kind of thing.
Yeah,
because when I was playing through Campaign Evolved, I was like, remembering, I'm like, man, I really don't like the kind of second half of the game as much as the first half, because I feel like the first half is much more big, I guess, like a lot of the environments and how you kind of like, that's like what I like about Halo.
Yeah.
And the second half is like, I got really tired of fighting the Flood, even though they look really cool, like popping them and having to shoot all the little guys that come out every time. I'm just like, I'm getting kind of over this.
Yeah, the I forgot what the type is, but it's so interesting. They didn't have that in the first. Like, you're supposed to fight those big puffy ones. You're supposed to fight them in 343 Guilty Spark, but they don't. At least in my experience, they didn't appear until the library mission. And I think you hit the nail on the head. I agree that they need to figure out how to, like, if you kill them before they burst, nothing should spawn from them.
Yeah,
like it's just a pain in the ass to like wait, shoot, they blow up. Shoot everything that comes out. It's like playing Power Wash Simulator, but it's a fucking shooter. Like,
yeah, because it just like kills your momentum. You like stop, then you got to do it. I will say,
good point.
Really cool seeing them like take over a body, like a host, like
very necromorph.
It's
really good.
I was like, that's really cool. I really like that. I kind of liked having some of the new weapons. That was cool, like the sword, being able to use that. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Great addition.
I really liked stuff like that. The battle rifle like wasn't in the original game. Like, it's only in the new mission.
Yeah.
I was like, why didn't you sprinkle it in a little bit?
Yeah,
sprinkle
I agree completely. Yeah, it's so funny. That exact same thought. When I picked up the BR in the prequels, I'm like, was this in the was this in the base game? Did I just like completely miss this? So I omitted that for my review because I'm like, I don't know for sure. But you saying that, I'm like, maybe they just really did leave it in the prequels. I'm like,
because
why?
I was like, where's the battle rifle? Like the entire time. I was like, I want to see what the battle rifle's like in this game, but didn't really do that. Did do a lot of the skulls, which was kind of fun to do. I haven't messed with any of them, but just like hunting them seemed kind of interesting. But I'm not a super huge Halo fan. I've played all of them except 5. I didn't finish 5. Man, really didn't do it.
Why?
I was just like, I don't know.
Are you sure?
I don't know.
You finished 4 and not 5.
I did finish 4 and not 5.
Yeah, that's funny.
I was like, who are these? Like
4 is just super forgettable. I don't think 4.
I don't remember, Matty. I don't remember dick about 4. I'll tell you that.
It's so funny you say that, bro. That's literally what happened to me. I was talking about a Retro Rebound. I was doing like a ranking Halos video, and I said Halo 4 I have nothing bad to say about because I don't remember much of it. I played it like 3 different times now, and I said I just remember even when I played it on the 360, the multiplayer died in a week. I just went to Black Ops 2. I think that is the most dead Halo game ever.
It's fucking crazy.
Not awful. I think the Prometheans are interesting, I guess.
Yeah, kind of cool enemy, but just like, what do you think about the Brutes, the prequel?
I like how they handled the behavior of them. You know, like if you shoot that device on their chest, they go berserk and attack
crash out. Yeah,
that's like the little gimmicky things that, you know, make Halo really great, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, I think about like bursting the shield of the jackals and how they like run away, covering their head after, like those little behavior patterns and kind of making them predictable and visible. That's good Halo shit right there. Their inclusion was good. I don't think there was anything wrong with it, but I'm also not like a lore geek. Like for all the Halo I play, I'm like strictly a game guy. Like a lot of people have read the books. I've never dared watch the TV show. Like I'm in on a high level, but not to that level. Where I'm sure there are more who, you know, like a Hidden Xperia who like really great Halo lore guy, like knows his shit. Like I would know my Fallout, where I would turn to him to see like how he would feel about something like that. But their inclusion from like a gameplay level, I thought was actually handled really well. They were like a good threat. They were spongy in the right way. The way they brought them to heal, I thought was kind of interesting. So that was cool. I liked them there. And it was fun to fight something that was a different enemy type, other than just like elites. You know?
Just to wrap it up, I guess I would just say it's an okay experience, in my opinion. I think if you're like a super big Halo fan, though, you'll be going playing Master Chief Collection like Matty is doing. But if you're a very casual Halo fan, or if you never played Halo, it's not a bad place to start just because it's available more places than ever. So there's that angle from it. But
yeah, I wonder with where Xbox is headed right now, because there were rumors that they were going to pull Campaign Evolved from PlayStation if they could, but it was too late. I don't know if there's any validity to that, by the way. But with the way they're trending, I would be surprised if we get 2 or 3 remake, let alone on, because that's for that base.
Yeah.
Let alone on
that's
other
what
platforms.
It's for. I agree.
You know?
Yeah, they could easily axe those.
Yeah, I'm really curious what they do, where a lot of people are like saying get in on this level, because like when they remake 2 and 3, I'm like, I don't know, I'm not as confident about 2 and 3 getting remade if they're not going for multiplat.
Yes, you know? Especially we got to see how this sells. Like maybe if it does just like whatever on PlayStation, they might just be like, fuck it, cut it.
Very, very keen to see the Alinea Analytics estimates for this one.
Yeah. Should ask Reese
and where it ranks for Circana for the month. I am super, super interested.
Yeah, very, very interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me ask you one last thing.
Sure.
Halo. What do you want?
What do I want?
What do you want? There you go. Okay, Matty, you're in charge of Halo. For
Oh,
one
man.
game at least.
Oh,
How do we get it back on track?
I think there's some great source material out there for safe places to start that kind of get the core right. And then I think the problem is the things that follow them up, trying to build off of that, did a horrible job.
Mm-hmm.
I think of two very specific pieces of entertainment in the mid 2010s. Gears 4, if you're thinking games, and for movies, I think is Star Wars The Force Awakens.
Mm-hmm.
Both followed up with performances that, especially in Star Wars, were disastrous. But in Gears of War, people really have mixed feelings on. But I think Gears 4 was perfectly fine because it was a baton pass game and really got some of the core fundies right while introducing some new characters. It's like, okay, this is what makes Gears. We've got the Horde, we've got the multiplayer, we've got the campaign, we've got the co-op driven mission design, but here's some new characters doing that. But we're also tying it back to those old characters and they're kind of involved in the story, and we're going to build this whole thing around Kate. And I thought it was a solid Star Wars, like, okay, foundational.
Yeah.
Force Awakens felt a lot of the same way. I remember looking so forward to what would come next after that. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
but I also remember they basically ran A New Hope back completely.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
it was A New Hope, but you get it. It's like after so long, get the ground under your feet.
Yep.
I think, and it's so funny is my pitch would sort of be something similar to Infinite, which is like, hey, here's the basics: Pacific Northwest appearance, like sandbox driven design. Let's get those core fundamentals under our feet and then build on top of that. But that development cycle was so strangled that, frankly, like it just, never fully materialized with its max potential. I think my first step would be to ice it for a little bit. I think it really needs a good plan. I think what's happening is Halo's putting the rails down on the road
Definitely
as the train is moving. And I think there's certain moments where in that chaos, Halo 2 is a great example. You can make it work, but for a franchise plan, like Halo Combat Campaign Evolved just reeks of like, we don't know what we're doing yet. We need something to sell Halo wise. Like, we're just going to do this, even though the product doesn't justify its existence on the marketplace. It's just a thing, right? So I would ice it for a little bit to just make it very clear. Like, let's figure out, like, we're going to take an extra year or two. We're going to really figure out like what this roadmap looks like to us. Like, what are we doing not only for mainline, but what are we doing support studio wise? Are we doing spinoffs? How are we incorporating those? What studios do we want to entrust? Like, really figuring it out, because that's what Bungie did well. We talk a lot about their mainline, but it was also spinoffs like ODST were just as memorable as 1 through 3. You had spinoffs that were handled by Ensemble Studios like Halo Wars. Assembly helped with Halo Wars 2, and these are really great additions to the Halo franchise. So I know there was the twin stick spinoffs as well. I've not played them, but I've heard from people they're not that bad. But point being is that they manage these different spinoffs alongside the main line, whether it was internally, externally, really well with great care. And I think part of putting it on ice is I would get this IP far away from the current team. It's just the reality is the proof is in the pudding, whether they're trying, it's leadership, whatever it may be, dude. Like, the reality is you've had Halo since 2012. And literally every game, really barring your first one, technically your first one was Anniversary Edition, but really your first one in Halo 4 wasn't like this disaster. But even Master Chief Collection was a disaster for many years until they fixed it, right?
Yeah.
But it was MCC, it was Halo 5, it was Infinite. It's this game to an extent. And the only thing they've been capable of delivering is around good at best and less than good most of the time. They're responsible for the fucking tragic TV show that just betrays the lore on a lot of levels from the clips I've seen, and COG just straight up telling me just don't bother.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. That's a lot coming from COG to be like, just don't bother, So I would get the IP as far away as possible from them and probably take the Fallout approach of like, find a home, let someone oversee it, and let other developers kind of nurture it over time. The reason it really needs to go away for a while, though, is because Infinite was the reset point. They reset the story in some soft ways, brought you to a new setting. It got away from the numbers. So there was no Halo 6. It was Halo 5, then Infinite. Like, this series is stuck, and it just needs to go for a little bit. That's the sad truth.
People need to miss it.
I think people need to miss it. We need to get away from the damage that's constantly happening, not just from the studios, but like fans are upset.
Yeah.
And I think for this to get back on its feet, we need a reset period to be like, okay, we've been planning for a while and we're coming back, and this is the return of Halo. Now you can start from the ground up, and whatever that may be, I don't know. That's where Halo lore nerds, I think, are really useful here, because they have different points on the timeline they can point to. I don't know if starting over makes a lot of sense. I don't know if picking up where you left off makes a lot of sense. That's the tricky part, is they really bungled it so bad between 4 to Infinite that it's really difficult. Outside of spin-off ideas, I can think of a million spin-off ideas. But it's really difficult to pick, like, start here. Because Bungie really covered the full spread. If anything, Bungie's indicative of, like, they moved on at the perfect time. They moved on with Reach, which, after you had all of this context of 1 through 3 and the spin-offs in between, to see those Spartans fight that war meant everything.
Yeah.
And that was the last thing that we didn't have. We saw the OST. We saw the other Spartans that weren't Chief. We saw Master Chief's journey. Frankly, there was nothing left to do. It had peaked out. It had hit every bar. It was just keeping it alive because we loved it.
Yeah.
And I think there's reason for that. But nothing meaningful has been done. So until something meaningful can be done, I don't think the series is extracting a lot of money, but we'll see what happens with things like the remake. I'll be very curious, but yeah, man, I would ice it for a while. There's so many other ways you could go about it, and like, oh, start over again. But do you really want to put your fans through that? Like, you just restarted. You're going to restart again? Like, imagine if let's put it this way. Let's put it in Sony Santa Monica's hands. God of War 2018 comes around. They're like, we're soft resetting, right? We're away from God of War 1 through 3. This is the same Kratos, but like different mythology. And let's just say that game is not the GOTY game it is, where it's, it's like middling, it's kind of figuring things out. And then 5 years later, I think that was actually a little bit less than they came back with Ragnarok. But let's say they come back later and like, we're back and we're resetting again. It's God of War 2018, but it's now Egyptian mythology. You're like, what the fuck are we doing, bro?
Yeah.
So that is the thing. I think Halo just needs to, I think the tough pill to swallow is it needs to go away for a while. And what's sad about this is that Xbox has said, I shouldn't say that. They didn't say anything. They've only said they're focusing on their core franchises, but the leak has suggested Fallout, Elder Scrolls, Halo are the key focuses. So I don't think Halo's going anywhere.
Yeah.
So if we're going to make the best of a bad situation, it's time to put them in the same spot as Bethesda Game Studios. That's my conclusive answer.
Yeah. Is like,
you manage the franchise. You do not make games.
Is Halo like a core franchise financially still for them? I don't know. Is it just kind of one of these like legacy things they have where like, we have to keep this alive kind of thing?
It's synonymous with Xbox. That's the tough part. You could argue Gears has lost its flame a bit. But Halo is so like the reason the box exists.
Yes.
You just can't get away from that. And you're the reason multiplayer is where it's at. Like Halo 3, like being that social network and how it branched into YouTube content, Machinima, Red versus Blue, Forge, player expression, sandboxing, like endless hours of multiplayer. Like that was the inflection point, right? Mainstream news coverage, all that shit. Like that was Halo 3. You just can't get away from that. And that's why I don't really sympathize with 343 sympathizers where they're like, man, like, I'm not saying this is what our write-in earlier was saying, where it's like, man, what can they do to win? It's like, heavy is the head that wears the crown, dude. This is like one of the most important first-person shooter franchises ever, and will always be that. If you cannot handle the heat, get out of the kitchen, or in my case, put the kitchen on ice.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting stuff.
Long diatribe, but yeah, just there's no clean solution for this one.
Yeah. Okay. Thought out answer. I like it. All right, Matty, let's do sort it out. I'm going to just kind of echo what you're saying. Like, having this conversation with you about Halo, and as someone who's like on the outside of the series, I just feel bad for the fans, man. I feel like you guys have just gotten your asses kicked constantly, like spit on for like a decade or more, since Reach, essentially. Where it's just been this legendary. I'm thinking about like Mario. If Nintendo did this with Mario, it's your fucking Mario, man, and you're like kind of you've been dropping the ball for a while with this thing.
Yeah.
It's sad, dude. It's like, it bums me out hearing you talk about Halo, dude. It just, what it's become and like what it means to you and what it is in the eyes of fans now. It's just like, what a bust, dude. Because I don't think it is, like, obviously when Infinite came out, they were like 20 million players or whatever, which is really good.
Mhm.
But it's just like, is this the juggernaut financially for this company still? And or are they just pumping money into it when it's not making a lot of money? And are they eventually just going to be like, you know what? Fuck this. We're ditching it. It's like, it's a sad thing. Like, I don't know. I would have given Halo to someone else a long time ago. Anybody.
One of Phil's greatest mistakes.
I mean, Xbox owns more like studios than anybody.
Yeah.
And you got some really great devs, man. Like
great shooting devs too.
Great. You got id, Machine Games, all the Call of Duty people, dude. They could probably make a decent Halo game. You don't like, I'm not saying this Halo game needs to blow the dick off everyone. Like, it doesn't need to be Halo 3 levels, but it's got to be like good. I think Halo fans just want at least a great game. If they got a great game, you guys would be so happy. So happy. Mm-hmm. I feel like every time a Halo thing comes out, people are just like, yeah, their enthusiasm is just low. I want Matty just to be like, yeah, it was good. I would be happy with that. I think that'd be a good start for Halo. Like you said, the Force Awakens moment where it's just like, okay, fundamentals, very familiar, but solid start.
Yeah.
We need to get to that point
at least. The perfect example of that. I mean, I'm bigger on the new era of Gears than others. Like, I think 4 was like I already described, but 5, I think the second half of 5's campaign makes some really bad decisions that really hurt people's opinions of the game.
Yes, that's what everyone talks about that game.
But the front half of that campaign has some fucking crazy reveals and really good story moments that I loved. I still love. Gears was a product of naturally trending in the direction of the industry. Like, let's go more open. Let's crack these levels open even more, instead of the more kind of claustrophobic cover-based level design. They were instead like, let's build cover in like these random outposts in the middle of the snow. And like, it's a little weird, like driving around and getting out of your car and then taking cover. It feels very forced. So the game has a lot of issues, but like, I do think the baton pass to the Coalition has been way handled better.
Oh yeah.
Especially looking at E-Day, which we'll talk about soon with its multiplayer embargo. There's a lot to be said. So you just, the baton pass is way better over there. And I think that's why Gears fans aren't constantly freaking out. But Gears has also shrunk in relevance.
Yes, definitely. It's definitely not as iconic as it was in the 360 era. After 3, it's just like,
exactly.
Interest is gone down.
Because I felt like Gears and Halo were kind of neck and neck, but after 3, it just kind of, which is why I think E-Day is a great idea. E-Day seems to be gaining some real steam online. It's hitting the right nostalgia bone while taking those technological advancements in the right direction. Like, I think it's going to do really well for them.
Yeah, I think it'll do fine, or really well as well. After that, though, dude, it's like you gotta address the elephant in the room, which is the end of 5. You gotta figure something out, dude.
I don't know. Cog's a big advocate on just leaving it. I'm like, you can't just do that. Like, you really can't. So, I don't know, bro.
We'll see. I guess. Very interesting, though. Yeah, I'm excited to play Gears of War. I love fighting the Locusts. Those are some of my favorite enemies in games to like kill.
100%.
Man, blowing apart and they're all chunky. It's so good. Yeah. That's what bummed me out about 4. I was like, man, fucking robots, dude.
You're so right. Yeah.
Like, I get it. You got to switch up the enemy variety and all that kind of stuff, but they got to hit good. You got to get that dopamine.
Halo and Gears went in that same. I never connected that dot, but they both went kind of robotic, like Prometheans and these robots, and they both didn't have the same feedback as like shooting the enemies from the earlier games.
Yeah.
Such a good
point. It's because when you're shooting machines compared to something like organic, it's not usually as satisfying. Usually, it could be done well, but it's hard to go from shooting like a chunky, weird mole man and watching him blow up into bits to a robot. It's just tough.
Yeah,
but I don't envy it. But I'm excited for Gears E-Day. But man, you gotta sort out Halo, dude. You just gotta do it, man. You gotta do it for not only the gamers, but you gotta do it for yourself as a company. That is your Mario. Yeah. And you keep treating him like he's your Mario. So they say he is their Mario, but they don't treat him like he's their Mario with the love and care he gets.
Yeah. Yeah, my sorted out would be the same, so I'll spare everyone.
Okay.
It's sorted out Halo. Yeah, so, but I've already gone on. So.
No, yeah, we went on for a long time, but yeah. All right. Rob Persglove Road said, hello, Brad 117 and Matty 069. Is there any chance that the new Xbox leadership will do anything different with Halo or with any urgency? I bought an Xbox for Halo, and for me, it continues to be the biggest missed opportunity case in gaming. Xbox, again, please sort it out before the Green Reaper comes for you too. I might be on cooldown for a while. I feel like it's just like burst. It's not a constant thing.
Your ult is on cooldown right now.
Yeah, it's big cooldown. Big
Yeah.
cooldown. Maybe I think we're probably safe until next year, is my guess.
There's 1,600 left to go. There's certain studios that have remained untouched, specifically in Activision. I was very surprised not to hear much about Halo Studios.
Maybe they're waiting to see.
I wonder what that means. There's two theories, right? There's they're getting hit after Campaign Evolved. They're just assessing this.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of teams that are about to ship games like Coalition, Playground, didn't really get hit at all. So I'm wondering if like that's the case, like let's just wait till they ship and then something like that, or if it's just like your time's coming, dude. Just like we're gonna hit you with everyone else. And so it's also possible again that they're holding on to them because Halo's a big focus for them moving forward, which has been the rumor for a while now. And they're like, yeah, we're going to invest in you, which just like you want to talk about like this is to me beyond Matt Booty. Whoever runs Super 3, I'm just to continue to get money and to continue to get just like credibility and all that. Like, just I don't know. Will there be a chance they do anything though? I think if they handled Fallout, I think they got to do a similar thing for Halo. I think the urgency with the community is about the same. Although with Bethesda, it's been very vocal since Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition now. It's been vocal for years, but since Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition. So I would love to see Halo Studios put out a similar roadmap and letter and to see how people react to that.
Yeah. I think with like Fallout and stuff, and in that case, it's like you have teams that can make Fallout. We already know that. They've made Fallout games like Obsidian. And it's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
So she pulled out the gun, pointed at Todd, which I think is the right move, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, they had to talk.
Had to talk.
Yeah.
All right. The Diddler wrote and said, sort out fighting games with your high input latency. The Marvel Tokon beta is going on, and I understand that it's still a beta, but the input latency between PC and PS5 is huge. This is a huge problem with your fighting games that have crossplay because if a console player is matched with a PC player, the PC player has a huge advantage. I know the PS5 is notorious for higher input latency, but games like Street Fighter 6 and is this Mark of the Wolves or City of the Wolves? That's Fatal Fury.
Oh, yeah.
After updates, tries to fix the problems by including a 120 hertz mode. You would think a Sony exclusive like Tokon would offer a 120 hertz mode, but nah. Sony saves those 120 hertz modes for their other exclusives. Anyways, this shit needs to be sorted out. Even looking at it from a pro player's perspective, they practice on PC. They have to play on consoles during a tournament with money on the line. Just make the latency even across all platforms. This is out of my wheelhouse. Fighting game scene going on now, especially modern game fighting game scene. But if there is a huge latency issue between platforms, that is a no for fighting games.
Yeah.
Big time no.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I played it on PC for an hour just to kind of feel it out. I don't know if I'm in a fighting game mode. I was very excited about this game, but when I fired it up, I was like, I don't know if I really want to commit my brain to like combos.
Sure.
And
yeah, you got to get in the lab. You got to learn everything like that. Yeah, just if you're not in the mood for that. Sure.
I think part of it's also I started watching Maximilian Dude a little bit, and I saw one of his streams. I just randomly clicked on it, and he was in the lab for like 7 hours straight. I was like, I've never done this with any fighting game I've ever played. I just want to play the game so bad that I just like lab for an hour maybe, and I just get in and just learn through like time. And it's probably why I've always been like a very average. Like I have my moments where I'm like fucking filthy, or I really benefit from games like Tekken where it's very intuitive with the way the movement works and how you dodge, because it's just kind of like naturally with the controller and how you move. So I find greater success there. But with games like Arc System, where it's like all combos, all inputs, chains, I was just like, I don't know. I was so excited when this game got announced. I was like, I don't know if I really want to play this right now. So
we'll see. I don't know if I'm going to play it or not. I'm not sure. I mean, it looks really good.
Such a great roster.
It does. That was really. I'm not like a huge Marvel person. I like Marvel. but I'm not like super into it. But I do like Arc System Works, but I just don't know if I'm gonna play it or not. I'm not sure.
I'm
But it
most
looks
interested
good.
in it because it's basically Dragon Ball Fighters 2.
It
Dragon
is,
Ball
yeah.
Fighters is my favorite fighting game of all time.
Yeah, fun game, dude. But we'll see. That comes out pretty soon. That's like what?
Next week, I think, or something.
Yeah, is it
like
next
that.
week?
It's
Yeah, I
the
think so.
6th.
Yeah, that's next week. That's crazy. Damn. All right,
Yeah,
Matty.
August is gonna be busy.
I know. Let's get positive. Keep it up. We've been dooming and glooming for a while. What are you happy about? Anything you're pleased with in gaming right now?
Yeah, that's an easy one. Hey, keep it up, Bethesda.
Oh, okay.
Keep up that communication line. We'll see how open they're being. I tested it out for a video. I sent them a litany of questions, 8 in total.
Mhm.
A lot of soft answers, mainly non-answers. So I don't think the door is as open as they're conveying. But I will say I'm very thankful for the Fallout roadmap.
Mhm.
I'm happy that COD gets to hum the Starfield theme for at least another year.
I was shocked to see they're still supporting that game.
Yeah. He led off with it too. He was like, Starfield will continue. I was like, oh, okay. They're really trying to put some things to bed here. But in all seriousness, I think it's just good that like Bethesda is their own worst enemy. Like I know for a fact that they're very like the people who work there are very sensitive, and it is what it is. But it's like you guys can feel bad all you want. Like people are upset. You need to talk to them.
Mm.
And like if you're so upset about, for example, rumors that chew you up, then go do something about it.
Sure.
And this is them doing something about it. It's like, cool. Now stay on top of it. For example, your secrecy about the game engine that Fallout's going to be on, dude. The fuck are we doing? So that's why I'm saying keep it up. We talk about foundation, right, Brad?
Mhm.
This is a great foundational conversational point. You just announced like 8 Fallout games. Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm super grateful for that. Let's literally keep it up.
Yeah.
That would be very good for Bethesda and their fans.
Yeah.
Stay on top of the speculation. Stay on top of the news.
My girlfriend is a big Fallout person. And she's like,
Nice.
did you hear about the new Fallout games? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, it's 5 years away though, or whatever. She's like, I don't give a shit. I'm just happy they exist.
That's literally where we've been at. You know what's so funny is then she'll know. Like we've been saying for years, this is during the Xbox One, PS4 days. We're like, Bethesda just remaster them. All we want is like update the textures and re-release them for $60.
Yeah.
Like, we'll pay that. Now the fan base is demanding more. They're like, no, you're gonna give us fucking way more than that.
Yeah.
So this is like compound interest at this point. Like they did it to themselves too, and this is how little it took that fan base. The way they flipped, they're like, Obsidian Fallout, dude, let's fucking go. Suddenly the public opinion on Obsidian pretty decent now.
Pretty
they're like,
decent.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, Josh Sawyer. We love Josh Sawyer. But before this, they were like, yo, they haven't shipped a game in a while. That's been great. And I'm like, the guy who's directing this fucking game directed Pentiment. Pentiment was excellent, but okay.
Yeah.
So I'm stoked. Happy to see that there is a bright future for Fallout, or I should say this. I should say bright. That's me getting ahead of myself. I'm very optimistic because it's not just like, oh, we knew the remasters were coming. We know Bethesda's going to eventually do Fallout 5. But to know that something actually genuinely new, like we don't know what it's going to be like, and it's closer by, like an Obsidian-led Fallout, because they ship games.
Yeah, they do.
And they move pretty fast.
Get them out.
Yeah. And if the big thing, Brad, because you're saying 5 years, there is this world, right? There is this world where like they transfer this original project they were working on,
turn it into that. Yeah.
Yeah. Whether it be that
That's
project
possible.
Michigan, or they take all the Outer Worlds 2 stuff and build off of that, which has all the hallmarks of a Fallout game. There's a lot of ways Obsidian can accelerate, but if Bethesda's like, no, we're using creation, I don't know what the fuck happens there, bro. I really don't.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Creation engine. Very interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they could get a Fallout game out in like 3 years. They're pretty fucking fast, like you said. Maybe I would say 4, but
yeah, the rumor is that they've worked on this Obsidian Sawyer project before it was Fallout for enough time where I feel if it was converted, it would accelerate.
Okay.
I mean, Josh Sawyer was just talking about how he's been playing his game on a podcast. And that was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So whatever he had was playable, and playable can mean an entire range of things. It could be like you can run around as a stick in a box, or it's like, oh, Like we got the mechanics and we're like actually actively testing them. I'll be curious to see what it is, but to Bethesda's kind of keep it up. It's like, keep up the communication because these things about engine and direction of the game, they will leak. It'll be one of 3 names: Schreier, Corden, Warren.
Mm-hmm.
One of these 3 will do it for you. So you may as well do it yourself.
Yeah, may as well. It's so funny you talk about like, this is such a funny thing for me when devs talk about like they're playing their game. Of course, they're doing it throughout the development. But it reminded me of this thing I saw from Hamaguchi, who's the director of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Revelations. He's like, yeah, I've played through Revelations 40 times.
Yes. Yeah, dude. Unbelievable. It's why a lot of devs don't end up playing their games. Like Rafael Colantonio posting a video about it was him and Harvey Smith.
Oh my God, that Dishonored video, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So good too.
So good.
Just watching them play it. But they're like, we haven't played this at all. They're like, we played it so much during development. We're like, you can have it now. Like it's all yours.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Man, I miss Dishonored. I miss that shit. Shout out Dishonored 1 and 2. Yeah. Excellent. Keep it up for me. I'm trying to think. It's been a weird time in gaming. I'm just going to give it to Nintendo because I feel like they've had a good output for exclusives. They output exclusives that are like true exclusive. You know, we're not talking console exclusive, just on Switch 2 only, and they're pumping these motherfuckers out. And they're hitting a stride right now. Had Starbucks, Splatoon Raiders, which we'll talk about in a little bit, just came out, which surprised me. We got Fire Emblem coming out as well real soon. Zelda's coming out, Ocarina of Time, the remake this year. Hopefully that is better than Halo's remake. Like, I'm going to crash out if it's bad.
That's a more dangerous remake, no?
Oh, it's by far the most dangerous remake.
Yeah, like it's the most dangerous remake ever next to Final Fantasy VII, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, with Zelda, the thing about, I think a lot of people that scares people about remakes is the narrative. And Zelda's Ocarina of Time's narrative is like, it's there, but it's not like, it's not huge, I guess. Someone's gonna be like, oh, actually, there's a lot there.
It's really about the world, right?
It is more about the world. My biggest fear with that game, Matty, is them just playing it way too safe. That's what I'm afraid of.
You want them to take risks. I heard a little bit of your video. Yeah.
I want them to take, you gotta swing, baby. You gotta fucking swing a little bit. But if it's like 1-to-1, I'll still enjoy it. But please be a little more ambitious. Please, dude.
Sure.
But good job, Nintendo. You've done a good job at staying out of like the headlights of angry gamers recently. I remember really when Switch 2 got announced, everyone's like, fuck key cards, fuck Switch 2, it's too expensive, drop the price. Now everyone is like, man, Switch 2 is the best. I love game key cards. It's like, it's crazy.
Issue I had was the $80 games, and they have not, to their credit, wait, no, I'm sorry.
No, Fire Emblem's going to be 80.
Yeah, I was going to say, speaking out of turn, as I remember seeing something was 80.
70 digital. Their games are actually $10 cheaper digitally. So they do put their money where their mouth is, I guess, on that front.
So you're telling me $10 more for physical?
Yes.
PlayStation, what are we doing, baby?
$10 more for physical. Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So I guess to their credit, they took a year to do that. So a little bit more on that. But yeah, they've been riding slow and steady. They haven't had really much that's interested me. I've been playing a lot of backlog games on my Switch, but I'm still getting a lot of use for it. But you know, as for like major exclusives, it's been since Pacopia for me.
Yeah.
But before that, I'm trying to think.
Yeah, Pacopia earlier this year.
Yeah.
But yeah,
but otherwise,
they're,
like
Splatoon, they're starting to ramp up a little.
Fox, I was like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, they're starting to ramp up a little bit more.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll hit their stride. We need that 3D Mario. That's kind of the thing everyone's waiting for. And Zelda.
When do you think that comes, a 3D Mario? Because I thought the 3D Mario team just did Donkey Kong.
Some things, I believe. Someone else has been working on Mario. So next year is my guess. We'll see it at least next year.
What's the gimmick here? Like, how do you I
don't fucking know, man. Like, if you would have asked me that before Odyssey, I'm like, I don't know. Like, if someone said like, oh yeah, you got a fucking hat you throw and you turn into everything with it, I'd be like, what? Yeah. I don't know, man. They're gonna just do some random ass shit. Like, they could just be nuts and pull a Galaxy 3. I don't know. Who knows?
That'd be kind of cool. Yeah.
But I don't know. This should be like Mario. I don't know what do you even call it. Mario Odyssey Galaxy. It's like both. I don't know. It's some. I don't like with Mario. I never know what to expect with these guys because like.
Yeah.
I stopped trying to predict things, Matty, when we went from Mario 64 to Mario Sunshine. I was like, okay, dude, like you're just all over the place.
I guess because it's just fresh in my brain, I'm thinking of it. Has Mario done anything involving time? Like
Time
travel?
Yes, there's a Mario. What is it called? Mario. It's not Teaches Time. Mario. It's a shitty game. Marvel. No, not Mario. Mario Time something. Mario's Time Machine. Yes, dude.
Oh no.
This is like, dude.
What
It's like a
system is
history
this on?
game.
Oh.
Super Nintendo, baby.
Oh man.
Like you look.
I was talking more like Blink's the Time Sweeper, but Mario.
Tying in time. I think they're gonna save stuff like that for Zelda. That's more of a Zelda thing. I feel like they're gonna experiment with.
Time. Yeah, that's fair.
Because they did with
Yeah, I
Tears
was
of the
just
Kingdom
thinking
already
about
a
that.
little bit, like time mechanics in gameplay. So I could see them doing that
Okay.
more there with Zelda.
Okay.
But Mario, I don't know. I really don't.
Because like I felt destruction was the natural progression. Like Donkey Kong was the perfect progression of the idea. Like these open environments, now you just beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
It fits his character. So I'm like, what does Mario do? Do you just do a true open world Mario? Is that the gimmick?
Yeah. It's like they experimented that with Bowser's Fury, kind of having this open Mario nature. So
I never
maybe
played
they
that.
could.
Did you like it or?
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah. It's like it's a smaller campaign. You know, it was like an add-on to 3D World that they put for the Switch version.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, maybe 6 hours from what I remember or something like that. So it's shorter.
Okay.
But it's cool.
Just a little one tap. Okay.
Yeah, they tried some cool ideas, but yeah. With Mario, I really don't know what they're going to do.
Mm.
Zelda, I'm more confident what I think they would do, which is going to be just iterating on what they're doing right now, just with probably more crazy mechanics, because Tears of the Kingdom ramped it up from Breath of the Wild mechanically. Like
True.
being able to just go through fucking any object in the world and go through it, the rewinding time and all that kind of shit, building all this crazy stuff. So I don't know. But what I do like about Nintendo is they always build from like an idea first, then craft everything around that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I just wonder what that golden idea is. I almost bid on that one leak about like, was it Mario Titans or something like that?
Yeah.
You know what they need to bring back, Brad? Let's back to Sort It Out. Sort It Out Nintendo. Where's my Mario Sluggers game?
Oh yeah,
we got multiple tennis games.
Yeah.
We got multiple soccer games. Why is Super Sluggers not getting? I'm a huge baseball fan.
Yeah,
like Mario Golf. I understood the run back on that. I loved it. I loved old Mario Golf, but like I do love the new Mario Golf too. The post launch support for it was really good. Played a lot of that shit. But dude, like Mario Sluggers, like why are we not doing Mario Baseball?
Yeah, I'm trying to see when the last one was. Wii in 2008. It's been a hot minute. And it's weird because baseball is like really big in Japan as well.
With Shohei Ohtani and everything? Bro, my God. So obvious.
Yeah. Like sports games, they've just been doing soccer. No, not so. Oh, they did, I guess, some soccer, but tennis and golf are kind of like the main ones, I feel like.
They balls to do tennis a second time.
I know.
I liked Aces on Switch 1. But whatever this new tennis game was, I think, Fever?
Yes, that sounds right.
Like that's enough,
dude. But yeah, I don't know. Nintendo's a weird beast, man. I could never really predict them. Doing fucking Virtual Boy on NSO. It's like out of everything, you're gonna do Virtual Boy.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, dude.
There's a benefit to them being weird though, because there are these games. Like I just think of their directs where I'm like, there are these announcements where I'm like, where the fuck did that come from? I mean, a lot of times it's not even like their own games. Like I just think of like when I was watching the direct, everyone was like, that direct sucked, and I'm like, dude, they just announced Danganronpa 2x2. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, they just have this weirdness to them.
They do. They're an unpredictable company, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they use their power in a way that I kind of respect. Like, they do some really stupid shit, but they do it where it's like, Gene always puts it really well that like Xenoblade being able to exist in the capacity it does, like it's not as big as these other Nintendo franchises, but like it means something to the broader portfolio, and that's why it exists.
Yeah,
like, it's so good.
Yeah, Monolith Soft's like one of their star studios. I mean, they help on like a lot of major games now. Like with both Zelda games, they're heavily involved in helping with those games. So
I would imagine so, bro. Like when I have to imagine there was a point of reflection when like the new Pokemon came out, and then here's Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which like Xenoblade Chronicle 3 on that Switch 1 is like, it's not a great looking game.
But it's probably technically impressive.
But it's super, exactly. To me, it's like on that level of technically being impressive, like the first Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
First Breath of the Wild. Like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Like that just amount of scope and content and how fluid it was, and just how much was happening, how much story and voice work. I'm just like, on this cartridge, bro?
Yeah.
What?
This like PS3 level console. Yeah.
Absolutely kick ass.
All right. Big dumb stupid idiot wrote and said, "Howdy Green Reaper and Mister, come and take my discs." Matty plays. Once again, we just talking about him. Keep it up to Monolith Soft for their work on
there we go.
Splatoon Raiders. Oh, they worked on that too. And Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Chronicles 2 Switch 2 port. That was weird for me to say. 4K 60, a Xenosaga reference for its dozens of fans. And those,
you gotta throw the jab like that.
and those new Pyra and Mithra costumes are smoking. Damn. Man, what a weird series, dude. Have you played Xenoblade? I forgot. You said
played Xenoblade 3.
Okay, you played 3, but you haven't played 1 or 2. Okay.
I tried 2. That's what made me swear off Xenoblade, because I was like, I fucking hate the voices.
1 is so much better than 2. It's crazy.
Yeah, but I ever since Gene like continues to insist that Xenoblade Chronicles is like the best shit, I'm like, I gotta try 1. And so
1's good. Yeah,
I know it got a Switch 2 upgrade. I'm waiting for I don't know if the physical's out or not. I have to check.
Yeah, I don't know.
But, that's what I was waiting for though, because like when I saw they were doing Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Switch 2 edition, I was like, oh, I'll wait for that physical in October.
Yeah.
So.
Matty, as a new Trails fan, just hit Reverie. Xenoblade Chronicles Uno, Dos, Tres are significantly better. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I'll hang up and throw myself out the window after I get rock slid flinched 3 times in a row.
Hey man, look, I'll join that conversation when I get through all the Xenoblade games. Trails has some really significant highs, specifically the earlier games. But I will say Xenoblade Chronicles 3, it is a tragedy that Noah did not get nominated for like any type of performance, or he didn't win his best performance that year. I think he got nominated.
What year was that? Do you remember?
Oh my God, 2022.
Okay. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Yeah. What came out in 2022? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, 2022. Let me see. Games of the year.
Yeah.
2022.
I think that was
God of War Ragnarok. Wait, what? Horizon Forbidden West. Stray, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. They did get nominated for Game of the Year.
Yeah, I meant I don't know if Noah got nominated for best performance or if he didn't. I wasn't sure about that. But
okay.
I was just basically punching away that like his performance in that game is better than I think any single Trails performance that exists.
Okay.
Yeah. Like it's so good. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is so good. So I can see myself shifting here. The problem with Trails is that it's like a long book series, and so there's like highs and lows all throughout. But like,
yeah, I get it.
Their early games like Sky through Azure is like nonstop incredible, I think.
Damn. So, let's see. I don't see him getting nominated here. Let's see. We had Christopher Judge, who was Kratos.
Sure.
Sonny Suljic, who was Atreus. I mean, whatever. Really? Ashley Birch is Aloy. I don't think so. Especially in Forbidden West, dude. No way, man.
Popularity contest. I'm telling you, dude.
Plato Requiem, the girl, Amicia.
Yeah, Amicia.
And
that game was my game of the year. They're fucking amazing.
Man Engage for Immortality. There you go.
Yeah. Noah Neglect is crazy.
Yep. Sorry, dude. You got that Nintendo tax, as the kids like to say.
So yeah, Nintendo doesn't give a fuck. There's like whatever. You guys have your little fun award show. We'll be over
here. Daniel Ross wrote in and said, "Keep it up to Mr. Matthew Playful.
Whoa.
I felt impassioned by your heated words on the disc debacle on the latest episode of Duke. Your arguments were poignant and real on the realities of the losing access to the physical market, and I hope you continue to fight the good fight. Much love, Daniel."
Thank you, Daniel. That's very nice of you to say. Yeah. Last week's Duke, I mean, like me and Cog were talking, we're like, this network is so unpredictable. I was like, there's like 8 different things I said this episode that are going to get me like dragged in the comments, whatever. And like that rant was like one of them. Because I just insisted in the rant, for those who didn't listen, I'll save you the time. I was just like, it's just important, not because you need to go buy discs, or because I like to drive home with the manual. Like it's important because, as we talked about earlier, like the pricing and the rights and the ownership of it all, beyond the physical, like what's happening to the digital ownership of it. But then this week's comments were great. It was just like, everyone was like, man, fucking great episode. I'm like, last week we thought we had a great episode. We got the shit kicked out of us. I was like, specifically
That's
me.
what happens, man.
I was like, I don't know anymore. I literally said during the episode last week, I was like, just 1 week, just let us be.
Yeah.
I was like, just don't follow us up on the free feeds and just let us exist for 1 week. And that was this week. I was like, great, this is fucking awesome. Cool.
Yeah. All right, let's do a quick game recommendation from the audience for the audience. Dear Bradley and Matthew, that's so funny. Bradley and Matthew, that makes me think of my mom.
Yeah,
talking to me and my brother.
I feel like we just got addressed.
Yeah. I have a game recommendation. I have yet to hear, how do you say this? Den Shatak. Shatak, I guess that's how you say it. Be brought up on any LSM show. I am a strict non-weeb. I love how much of the audience is afraid of being a weeb on this network.
Yeah, come on now.
But this game, I blame Lockport, but this game has all the stuff. Actually, and your boy Cog.
Cog growing out of it,
this
real man thing.
Oh man, I can't play that game because it's colorful, man. I can't do it.
Yeah, there's a manliness to playing things like Gears.
I can't play a platformer.
Yeah.
All right, dog.
Creepy Cog.
Dense Attack is unapologetically hyper Japanese, and I love it. The art style is wild, the price is cheap, and the gameplay is seriously S tier and is addicting as hell. One more run, chasing a slightly better score or 4 fun collectibles. Think Tony Hawk, but with trains in Japan instead of a skateboard. Mix it with a killer soundtrack and vibes, and you got a banger. I don't come to say it is perfect. I skip the story bits. The train customization is a bit weak, but the price is right for GOTY level gameplay. Don't let LSM miss out. I've been watching this game for a while, and it does look very intriguing.
Yeah.
I hopefully try to get to it by the end of the year before our Game of the Year episode and all that kind of shit. Because I know there's always games that people are like, you didn't bring up this game. Why didn't anybody talk about this game?
I'm surprised at times this is a response we get and I get it because it's like our job, but at the same time, like I think about, okay, so like one of my big blind spots in gaming is the Remedyverse. I did a whole video talking about like how I listed probably like 30 games I was looking forward to for the rest of the year and how like there's no shot I play all of these, but these all look amazing. I want to put them on your radar. And I left out Control Resonant because I'd be frauding if I put in Control Resonant. I'm like, I know nothing about the first Control. I didn't even play Alan Wake 2. Like I only played Alan Wake 1 and Quantum Break. Like I'm totally behind on the Remedyverse. And all the comments are like, bro, where the fuck is Control Resonant? Are you kidding me? This looks amazing. Like not upset, just like passion for the game, which is why I like love what we do because we get to we yell the same way. But like it's just, I'm like, there's so many games coming out, dude. Like we cannot play them all.
It's impossible.
Dench Attack is one that I had my eye on too. Like I saw the reviews and it did really well. And it's one of those games where I would have probably jumped on sooner, but I felt it was a risk on the gameplay front from what I saw. I was like, I don't see how this translates when you're just on rails the whole time. I know it's a train, but I'm saying like, there's no, like, I'm going to go in this direction and get this. Like, I didn't understand it by watching. I said, let me wait till I have a gap in my schedule where I want to take a big risk like this. I took a different risk this week we'll talk about, but it was definitely more in my comfort zone. This is like more of a high level risk, I would say, but it looks pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, cool. There you go. Let's see. Matty, let's talk about Splatoon Raiders.
Yeah, fill me in, dude.
The Uncharted Wolf wrote and said, Brad, I must inform you that Matty thinks Splatoon is for babies and, quote, nobody cares about it. Damn. This, unfortunately, means that people like us are inferior to Matty and his superior media-like trails. All jokes aside, how is Splatoon Raiders? Do its roguelite elements feel forced in any way, or do they complement the incredible Splatoon gameplay loop? Much love for you both. Hope you're all doing great. And this one is from Davey Supple. Brad, what's up, dudes? Brad, how are you liking Splatoon Raiders? I'm absolutely loving it. It's exactly what I needed right now. A buddy of mine picked it up too. And after about 4 hours of co-op, I had 5 yellow rarity weapons and several purple ones drop. Meanwhile, after roughly 12 hours solo, even running the spicy versions of missions, I still haven't seen a single yellow drop. So public service announcement. Convince your friends to buy the game. I'm also really enjoying the weapon and gear customization. The changes from the base game feel like a big improvement. Thank you for your donation. I'll hang up and listen. And CKT wrote and said, hello, slimy summoners. Hope you're all enjoying Splatoon Raiders as much as I am. Brad, this game is sick. I've only got 2 complaints so far. What's up with the music? The 3 previous games had awesome hip-hop inspired soundtracks. This one feels like a big step back. 2, why does every character look like a girl? Otherwise, this game is sick, and I'll be doing spicy raids for many months ahead. I haven't gotten far enough to do spicy raids. I don't even know what that is yet. So just for context, I've only played like 2.5 hours of the game, so I've still got quite a ways to go, but I dipped my toes in. I got an idea of what the game is. Just to give you history about me with Splatoon, Matty, I'm not a Splatoon enjoyer. I want to enjoy Splatoon games, but I can never really get into them. I think they're such creative and unique games. Like the idea of just spreading ink everywhere and using it to move around and slowing down your enemies is such a cool thing, and I love it. The world is cool. I think the Squid Kids are hideous. All like the aquatic monsters are all terrifying looking. So that's a problem. But I've never really jived with the games that much. I own Splatoon 2, I own 3. They do have campaigns, and I just was not super into them. But then we get Splatoon Raiders, which is a little bit different from my understanding. This is not a competitive focused game like the other ones are, 1 through 3. This is purely a co-op game. So basically what the game is, you have a hub base, you go at, you can upgrade your stuff, your weapons, you got gadgets, which I'll get into, all that kind of stuff. Then you do specific like missions or levels where you go into this level, you got to kill all these weird fucking disgusting salmonoid guys that look hideous. Look them up, Matt, if you haven't seen them.
Salmonoids?
Yeah, I think they're called salmonoids. And you get currency and you upgrade all your kind of shit like that. So think of it, I guess, like like it's kind of like roguelite stuff. Like you're not going into a map and like random effects are happening. You're not picking up power-ups that add anything random that I'm aware of yet. But you're going in there, you're collecting resources, you're killing everybody, you're getting out. And I think, Matty, if you like miss like that dopamine you got from like horde modes and stuff like that, this is the game, dude. You're thinking of back, you know, like I loved Firefight and Halo ODST. I loved horde mode and Gears of War and stuff like that. I think this game scratches that same spot in my brain where I'm like, yes, I shoot guys, numbers go up, I get better gear, I upgrade them throughout the entire campaign, and it's very satisfying the entire way through. And this is a $50 game, not a full price game, which is nice. A little smaller scale, a weird little spin-off compared to other Splatoon games. But man, I've been having a good time with this game. They finally got me, I think, Matty. This is finally the Splatoon game where I'm like, okay, man, I'm in. I like this game. But yeah, drop on the map. First of all, you have these 3 companion characters that are within the entire game. These 2 other squid girls, I forgot their name. And there's a stingray with you named Big Man, who I love.
Big Man.
How can you not love a stingray named Big Man? He's cool. But basically, they accompany you. As you're going through the level, they accompany you on a mech as well. And they fight with you, which is cool. They're shooting guys, and they're pretty useful. You know, you've played games like AI that's like, they're there, but they might as well not even be there kind of thing. It's
Lego
like
Star Wars is the iconic example for me.
Yes.
They just don't do damage to other enemies.
Exactly. Yeah, but like these guys are fucking shit up. So I'm happy about that. It's cool to have them there, actually be valuable. But they all have their own ults. You shoot guys basically, Matty. When they die, you collect eggs. So that's horrifying as well. I'm just going to say, like, Splatoon is a horrifying universe. And I believe there's, like, really intense dark lore for this series, if I'm not mistaken. I've heard it's fucked up. So very, very insane right off the bat. They got power-ups and all that kind of stuff. So you got these 3 characters that have their own power-ups, their own ults. Like, Big Man, dude. You hop on Big Man, he gets out, the stingray, and he's, like, slapping the shit at everybody, which is really cool. Another girl has a giant shark that kind of just rushes through and destroys everything, kind of like reminds me of Jeff, I don't know, from Marvel Rivals. Just shreds everything. Then another girl has like a bunch of eels that like fall down or come out and just deal a bunch of damage. So I'm always grossed out seeing everything, but it's still intriguing to me somehow. Because first of all, Matty, I hate seafood. Big no for me.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I hate fish. Fuck them.
Fuck the fish too.
Yeah, I hate them, dude.
This aquatic life.
I don't like looking at them. I'm a fish bigot right away. Don't like them. Fish racist.
Wait. And you're in California.
Yeah.
You have access to great seafood, dude.
Hard no.
That feels raw.
Hard pass. Pass all day. I don't want to eat.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, oh, have you had the right kind? But you're right there.
I've had the right kind.
This is a story for another day. There's
people eating like shrimp, dude. Looks like water insects. Gross. Don't want that shit.
You don't like a little shrimp?
I tried shrimp once and I
marinara?
almost threw up. Hard out.
Oh, is it a texture thing?
I don't know, actually, maybe. But I just know
Yeah.
I'm literally eating like a fucking water cricket. It's like, I don't want that, dude.
Why you gotta describe it?
I don't
like
want
that,
it.
man?
It's like
why
you're,
you gotta
it's a
describe
bug,
it like
man.
that? Why you gotta
You look
describe
at
it
a,
like
have you
that?
ever looked at a
Now you
shrimp,
ruined it
dude?
for me.
Yeah. Those little water bugs, man.
That's so interesting. So there's never been any seafood you've ever liked?
When I was a kid, I was okay with like fish sticks, which I guess I don't know what kind of fish that'd be, like just cod or something like that. But
Yeah, I guess like fried cod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but then like, nah, man, no.
Yeah.
Like an octopus.
What's your favorite food then? I'm just curious
My
where you
favorite
land
foods?
now.
I don't know, man. That's a good question. It's just like Americana, probably, dude.
Yeah.
Burger.
Yeah. Like burgers.
Chicken.
Yeah.
Get like a chicken wing
Pizza?
or some shit. Oh, pizza? Yeah, God tier, of course.
Of course. Okay.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
open
my
to
wife's
food.
the same way.
outside
That's
of
why I
that.
like to ask. Like my wife loves Asian delicacy. Like that's
Okay.
her thing. Like she'll have Asian food like every day of the week if she could.
Okay.
But
yeah.
she hates seafood.
Really
Like,
interesting.
Like, but the sushi is right there. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. It's a big part. Yeah, it's a bummer. Because like
Yeah.
sushi looks really cool. And I respect
Yeah,
the
it's
art
very
of it.
aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah,
That's
it's
true.
very aesthetically pleasing. It is. It's really cool. Just like I can't do it, man.
Anyway.
I can't eat those like they're fucking like eldritch demons in the water. And people are eating them.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Yeah. Certainly I get that. So this game might be a little cathartic for you then, yeah? Because
Yeah, it's like I'm
you're
going
really
to therapy.
getting back at them. Yeah. after
Well,
all these
I'm
years,
living
you're
out a
slaying the
fantasy where I'm
squids.
getting to slay all these like hideous fish, so it's good for me as well.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
So
Please continue. Sorry.
that's been all
that
that's
was just
I don't know. I just went
little
off on a
distracting
rant. I
me.
forgot what I was saying exactly.
Um
Anyways, well, yeah, you got the power ups. People were telling me, so I don't have a lot of experience with Borderlands, but people were telling me it's kind of like Borderlands, how you're getting all these different pieces of gear. You can level them up. Some of them have like special properties,
mhm.
and you can invest in them. There are like these 3, like you have a tactical piece of gear with you that you can bind to each like L and R, and they have like different trees. There's one that's like movement, I guess, and there's one that's like power and one that's tactical. I've been using the tactical one because the first thing you get is like a little turret that goes out, and I love shit like that. I'm always like Team Fortress 2, the turret or the engineer, love that kind of stuff.
Axton and Borderlands. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Love the turret. That's always fun. But you can also upgrade these things, not only with like, you could do the basic stuff when you level up by like more damage, more range and stuff like that. You can also put on these like accessories that you can unlock by, just progressing your character that give it improved benefits. Like it does more damage now, or it shoots further, or it lasts longer and stuff like that. Or for when it goes away, it explodes, which could be really useful. Because, dude, this game ramps up quickly.
Nice.
I was cruising through like the first like 5 levels, like, oh yeah, no problem. Then you get to like these like, I don't know what they're technically called, but like these like raids almost, like little harder levels where you have to kill a certain amount of guys in like a time limit. You don't have to do that in the most of the levels, but this one, it's like, dude, 99 nights, guys everywhere. I can't see anything. I'm like just fucking getting overwhelmed, and the game running good the entire time. I was very happy about that. Overwhelming amount of enemies. Like I'm like a fucking Musu all of a sudden. 99 Nights is not a very timely reference. I'm sorry about that for all you out there. But
no, I called that one immediately.
Yeah.
That's such an interesting poll.
It's a deep 360 cut. But yeah, here, oh man, I'm gonna show you. I don't know if you looked at these guys. I'm gonna show you these guys. I want you to scroll down. You can look at these like guys you're fighting. Scroll down. You'll see the Salmonoids. And
oh, good lord.
they are
dude.
terrifying.
They're like giant boogers
Yeah.
with tongues.
They are all
Beasts.
terrifying. And some of those motherfuckers are big, dude. Big boys.
Yeah.
And there's even
Yeah.
like weird things where they're like, they stack up on like buckets and they almost look like a giant lighthouse that just shoot you, rain down. They're shooting through walls somehow. I don't know what's going on there. But then you got to shoot them and knock them down slowly. Really goofy stuff like that, which is really fun. But you can co-op, you can team up with people to get some levels done. I co-opted with these one guys because I was stuck on the slow. I couldn't beat it. But what's interesting is they said once you team up with people and you beat the level, you can't team up with other people for a little bit. There's like a cooldown period. I'm not exactly sure how long that is, but so it's like, so you can't just, I don't know, cheese your way through the entire game. But Matt, if you don't know, weapon-wise, you pretty much start out with like a basic super soaker, it looks like, shooting out ink pretty normally. Different weapon types though. I got the paint bucket, which is kind of like a shotgun, I would almost say, Maddie, like a quick burst of a lot of damage. Not a lot of range though.
Like an axe.
Yeah. There's the paint roller, which is of course a classic where you just set that thing in, run. It can just run over a bunch of enemies. And just the ink mechanic is so brilliant. You know, you shoot out this ink. The ink is your ammunition. So if you want to refill ammo, you go back in your ink, your little squid form, and it is movement basically. So if you go in the ink and you go in your squid form, you can go through it much faster. And this can be used to traverse things like climbing up walls and stuff like that. So it comes into play with all that kind of stuff. There are also these little shrines, basically, is how I describe them, is that offer little tiny challenges. And it's usually like pieces of gear, or it's like revolved around a piece of gear. Like there was this one for a speed boost piece of gear I got. So it was like a platforming gauntlet, which is actually really fun. I was surprised by that. But
Speed definitely looks the most fun from the clips I'm watching here. So just real quick, I don't want to take you off track. I just want to know, with these speed tank, power tank, tactical tank, is this just gear, or do these have their own separate skill trees?
They have like their own separate things you can add to them, like perks.
Okay.
So you can customize them for more your play style essentially, but you need to unlock things to be able to do it. There's like shops, of course, you can buy a bunch of stuff like that. There's a bunch of skins, different outfits to get, hairstyles, all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of customization on that front. But I'm trying to think about anything else that's completely unique to this Splatoon game compared to the other ones. I mean, obviously the structure is different compared to other Splatoon games. But there's like amiibo that add some gear, as very Nintendo as always, which annoys me. But I don't know, man. Like, as someone who hasn't been super into the Splatoon franchise, this kind of just worked for me more. It reminds me of like if an indie studio made a Splatoon game, Matty, basically. Just like this weird idea spin-off kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like it kind of reminds me of things like Hades and roguelites, but it's not quite that. But I get that vibe a little bit of like that, I want to do another run kind of thing going on there.
I definitely respect that they have hung with this so much and actually built it up into something really big where it can get spin-offs like this. Like it's not Splatoon 4.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And like this is one of their newer things where they've like really put a lot into it. It definitely, out of all the Splatoon games, like this kind of caught my attention a bit because it seems a little more. I don't know much about Splatoon 1 through 3, but I'm pretty sure they're just multiplayer geared. Like I don't think there's much of a story.
There is a story actually in 2 and 3. Okay. I don't know about 1. I haven't played 1, but like gameplay wise, they never really did it for me. Like multiplayer to me was always like the main focus of these games.
Sure.
But it was this there.
Seems interesting because it's like built around single player and co-op, which I think is kind of rare, especially just co-op driven. Like we've been getting them more lately, but it kind of reminds me of like that 360 era style game. Just like straight up like, hey, we're building this because Xbox Live is a thing right now. And like we want to give you more co-op games to play with your friends, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And it's like, man, if you liked horde modes and stuff like that in games in the past, I think you're going to dig this game. It's kind of like a Splatoon horde mode is how I describe it almost. You know, it's not quite the same, but if I'm going to put like a wide label on it, that's what I would say.
Sure. But
it's a cool game, man. I've been enjoying it to my delight. I didn't expect to. But I was like, you know, I do host a Nintendo podcast, so I should probably check it out.
Yeah.
And surprisingly good. So maybe it gets me a little more positive for the inevitable Splatoon 4. Maybe I'll be more into that now. Okay. Or maybe it's just a style game.
To it.
Yeah, we'll see. All right. Final game. Desktop Explorer. What the fuck is this?
So for my birthday, my brother-in-law sent me a card in the mail and it had 2 $20 Steam gift cards.
Oh,
so
nice gift, dude.
Redeemed them. Yeah, really nice. You didn't have to do anything. I was like, cool, dude. Thanks.
Yeah.
And so redeemed those and was kind of sitting back waiting for the right game to. I was thinking like, I'm going to use these exactly how they were gifted. Like I'm not going to use $40 for one game. I said, these are going to be indie purchases. When something just catches my attention, I'm just going to go for it. And so I saw on YouTube a channel I'm subscribed to, Noisy Pixel. They like to cover very niche games. They do a great job of that. That's the main reason I'm sub to them. They also cover a lot of trails, which is like very few channels do. So it's like worth being sub to them for that. But they'll pick like obscure JRPGs. They're actually one of the reasons I saw Dench Attack. And so they reviewed this game called Desktop Explorer. and I had seen it just briefly somewhere earlier in the day. So this was like a repeat. Like I saw it in passing, and I was like, "Oh, okay. Let me see what this is." Because I was like doing the dishes. I was like, "Let me just throw this on." And it is for those who don't know, it's a PC only game, and it's about. So it's a very, very story driven game. So I'm gonna be like
Mm-hmm.
very particular about what I share. I'm 9 hours in right now, and I'd have to say I'm nearing. I must be beyond the halfway point. Um, but the general idea is that you have inherited a computer. This computer belonged to your uncle, and within this, it's set in the 90s, and within this 90s focused PC is this mysterious program called Desktop Explorer. And it's got a little mascot similar to Clippy.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Pizarro. And it is, first off, like the gameplay is, you're playing on PC, and I think this could transfer to console eventually, but it is very much like managing a desktop from back then. Like the aesthetic is very Web 1.0, so very blocky menus, and I find that was one of the things that pulled me in is I find that time period and that style of internet, because I was there for it, very comforting, very nostalgic, very, very primitive, of course. And like I follow this website or this Twitter account that posts websites from the 90s, like McDonald's in 96, and
Funny.
how absolutely basic these sites were, and how it's like a lot of we were just figuring things out. Pre-Frutiger Arrow days, where it's like the future is now, everything's green and blue waters and bright skies, that sort of thing. So we're like right before that. And so this computer is not connected to the internet, so you're using cached information. So it's not like you can just open up the internet and explore whatever. So you're able to like go to like people's history from these users on the computer, and check their kind of like what websites they were visiting. And it's all very much like diegetic storytelling. It's all like in world, in universe, all through this computer. And this Desktop Explorer program is basically hiding information that you're after, and you're not really sure what it's about. So to kind of wet everyone's whistle a little bit, here's what I'll give you to kind of try to get you through the door on this story. Um, the person that you inherited this computer from was your uncle. Your uncle seemingly suffered from some sort of dementia, but as you progress through the program and the subsequent puzzles, and you start to discover more and more of his logs he left on the computer, you're starting to realize that he was able to write, but something was happening with his memory.
Mm.
And so this person you're playing as is very much grieving, because she said goodbye to him before getting this computer, and this was like his last gift to her. And he didn't know why she was crying when she was saying goodbye. And so it's this, as someone who's like, I've lost two family members who've suffered with dementia. So this hit a particular pocket for me where it's, I think, one of the toughest things you can go through, just watching
Right.
everything they experience go until they're just a person. And it's still a person you love dearly, but that selectful kind of patchy memory, it's really tough to go through. And so that also kind of hit me where I was like, okay, this person's going through something that I've been through, and I want to see how this game really depicts that sort of loss before the loss and what that grieving process is like while unpacking this mystery. And so it's not horror, but it's horror inspired, horror adjacent. There's no like, oh, jump scare, got you. But there are moments it's unsettling, and that there is a deeper trauma that this uncle has gone through that you are unpacking as you go through its various puzzles. So basically, you'll open up a folder, and the folder will have a password, and basically it's keys and locks the game. But there's different programs in the computer and things that you do that let you solve these puzzles. And it really kind of stretches itself out in an interesting way. So it starts off with like, we have this program called Color Lens, and this has different filters, and you're going to take different images from this folder over here, and you're going to put the color lens over it, and you're going to change it to blue, and there's going to be a code hidden in here, and that code will be useful for this puzzle that's within another puzzle. It's very puzzle heavy, but as someone who is like not a puzzle gamer, dude, this game's got some pull. I think that's like the best endorsement I can give it. I'm not really into puzzle stuff, but like I've been thinking about it. I was thinking about it, like I played really late last night, woke up thinking about it, incredible soundtrack. But like where it gets interesting is like, again, early 90s internet. So very primitive MMO stuff. Like it goes into a more three-dimensional space where you're playing off an application on the computer and unpacking this other part of the mystery, exploring other users on the computer. I'll leave it just at that because I think that's very basic level stuff. But the first part is very puzzle heavy. The second part I'm in now is much more gamey, and I found it a little bit more intuitive. And the game's really catching a stride because of that. So I've been really loving this game. It was sub $20.
Yeah.
Just came out this week. I know on Steam it has overwhelmingly positive reviews, and I see why, dude. It's such a mystery-driven game where you're just discovering these clues like, oh, this person had like their basically it's also funny seeing the websites and the equivalents they create. Like they recreated game facts, but they call it game bagels.
That's funny.
Whatever. And it kind of has like a similar aesthetic to it. But like, remember MapQuest back then? Like people who would like print out these directions to where they needed to go. And so like you could see like, oh, this person was going to this place and this person was at that place and these people have never spoken, but they were at the same spot. Like, why were they all in the same place? And like the story's not talking about that. So there is a clear mystery. And again, like what is this Desktop Explorer program doing? What is it hiding? Why is it a little unsettling what's happening here? But like beyond that is like a very character driven game as you're reading people's not just past logs, but just it shows how much you can learn about someone through exploring their computer.
Yeah.
What websites, like if someone looked at my history and my applications, what would they be able to take away from me? And this game builds off that idea. It's quite brilliant.
Yeah.
Easily already one of my favorite games of the year.
Oh, shit.
We're just saying a lot. But yeah, I want to finish it before I really punch it home. But like if it keeps at this, I'm going to be like very much raving about this. This is a excellent, excellent video game that, again, as a non-puzzle guy, look, dude, like give it a shot. Try to go through it as much as you can without walkthroughs. I think because it's so intuitive and it's focused on the computer, I've had a better time with this, say, compared to like, when I think puzzle games, I think of like Zero Escape, Virtue's Last Reward, one of my favorite visual novels. But like, I always tell people, I'm like, oh yeah, I used walkthroughs for like the whole game. Because like the way that Uchikoshi had designed his puzzles is like, this guy is definitely a director that like, here's what I'm interested in right now. And I'm going to build up all of my knowledge about these few things and build all of my puzzles around that. And if you're not super knowledgeable about that shit, you're not figuring out what the fuck's going on here. Like morphogenetic fields, you haven't heard of that. And like, that's like his style of directing. And I think he's gotten better with it with like the Somnium Files. But point being is like, for that, like I remember looking up the walkthrough for Virtue's Last Reward and going through it all and just every puzzle, I'm like, how the fuck? How the fuck? I don't think you get that here. There's been 2 that I cracked on, and that's my only critique with the game is this. Because one of those 2, there was one I had no chance in hell. The other one, though, I did solve, but the order I opened these programs in, the puzzle solution or the next step for it did not trigger. So when I was like, what the fuck? Like, I've been at this for 30 minutes, like 40 minutes now. What's going on? So I'm like, all right, I'm going to go look up a walkthrough for this. And I look and I'm like, oh, I did that though. And they're like, yeah, but this picture is supposed to like the eyes are supposed to light up in this photo. And I'm like, that never happened to me. So I redid my steps and then it triggered. And I don't think it was a glitch per se. It was more like the order of operations. I went out of order. I had another file open. So that's like my only critique is that happened a couple of times now where I actually did solve it. And I don't think puzzle games can joke you like that. It hasn't taken away from my enjoyment. It never frustrated me because I think the feeling of like, oh, at least I had it right. At least I knew. I find that validating because I'm like, oh, I'm so stupid when it comes to these games, dude. So it's been good to feel like, oh, I actually had it in that one moment. The other one, again, I had no chance. But I'd say try to go through it without a walkthrough as best you can because I think it's very much an approachable puzzle game. Approachable as in like because all the answers are within the computer. It's just how you're thinking about what's in front of you rather and all the angles you can take. And so there is a lot of just like looking at your screen kind of like this and just thinking. But I have really loved it. Very different from what I usually play, but just incredible music, really good story, really good way of exploring characters in a interactive manner. I think some of the puzzle solutions are really cool too. And kind of the way like they bring themes from certain other things in our world into what this Desktop Explorer program is doing. Really excellent stuff. So yeah, I've been loving Desktop Explorer. Just want to shout out for those of you who are on PC looking for a new indie game. The reviews do not lie. It's really good stuff, and I'm sure I'll have it done by defining Duke, where I can talk more about finishing it. But really highly recommend it
Cool.
if anyone's open to that type of game. Really enjoy it.
Yeah, I was watching it on Steam. Looks really interesting. You're saying
Yeah.
like Web.0. I was like, oh, Colin might like that kind of stuff, especially with the fake game facts.
Yeah.
PC
yeah.
only though right now.
PC only right now. Yeah. I think it can eventually come to console. Like I felt
Sure.
like, oh, you'll control the left analog stick and that'll move your cursor around. It'll be a little less intuitive, but like it's best on a computer because
Yeah,
you're like
it's
typing
more
in the
authentic. Yeah,
passwords.
definitely.
Yeah, exactly. So really do recommend it. It's published by Outer Sloth. So that's their new publishing label from the people who did Among Us.
Oh,
And so
okay.
this is something they decided to put their money into, and I'm glad they did because it's a really cool video game that I'm very happy exists.
Yeah, overwhelmingly positive right now. There is a demo as well, I believe.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
Yes, there is. So you can check that demo out if you're curious about it. It is $17.99. So
yeah,
there you
really
go. Okay, it looks very interesting. Yeah, keep me posted on this, Matty.
I'll let you know.
Because if it's like one of the best games of the year you've played, definitely gotta check that out.
Absolutely one of the most unique, but I want to emphasize when I say unique, I don't mean like, oh, because it's artsy fartsy. Like what I like about this game is there's a lack of pretentiousness about it, even though it's very elegant in what it's trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something that indie games struggle to walk. They get to call their own shots and they just want to express themselves, a lot of these devs. And I think some do it more intelligently than others. And I think the way this game communicates its story to you is intelligently done. And I think it's done with a level of like tact that a lot of stories are missing. So really just again, I'm like right now, again, I think past the halfway point, I'm just sitting here like, I don't really know what this program's up to or what it's trying to hide. I have a list of like 3 guesses.
Okay.
But I don't know. And so I think that's a really good spot to be in by this point in the game. It's really good, man.
Nice. All right, let's end the show with some write-ins from the audience. If you want to write into the show, I post a thread every Saturday on our Patreon, so keep an eye out there. Logan from Memory Card Ronan said, some fellas, obviously the physical media news has been a massive sorted out for weeks now, but an aspect of physical media I don't hear people talk about much is the ephemera of physical games. I generally have a better memory of games I own physically, and in an era of declining engagement and players seeing through their games less and less, I feel the physical engagement of holding your games is a feeling that traditionally used to be a big part of games or gamers. Love for the medium. Digitally is obviously or is objectively more convenient, but I feel like the inconvenience makes these stories have a more prominent place in our minds. What do you guys think? Especially you, Matty, as a physical guy yourself.
Yeah, man. I mean, like gifting is a perfect example of this. Like, I think we all have a game that you were gifted physically.
Mm-hmm.
Like, parent got it for Christmas, friend got it for a birthday, grandparent treated you, just wanted to surprise you, whatever it may be, a holiday, a birthday, a random, or a hand-me-down. I think of the chain when I was a kid. I'm like a huge Mega Man fan, specifically like the X stuff. But that was because I was best friends with someone who had a cousin who lived near him that when he finished his games, he'd lend them to my best friend. And when I went over, I'd visit him and play these games and experience them. And then I would go buy them. And I think that sort of passing of copies around and how it turns into, again, for me, like I don't shut up about Mega Man to this day. But that started because I was able to experience it through like hand-me-downs and that kind of, different word of mouth. Yeah, of course, there's like the drive home when you're a kid and you have the game and you're like cracking it open and that memory of getting it. But like, I always say to people, like, yeah, there's 2 things that really connect you with something. And it's like the physical, like it's a thing. I think it's good for the devs too, just to be like, we made this.
Yeah.
Like it's a thing you can hold and like, it's not just software out in the ether. So I think it's that. And I think it's money. I think Game Pass inherently devalued a lot of games and how they were received by people. Same with a lot of digital only stuff that would forever be digital or only accessible via digital. I think there is a lack of connection and it turns into, I mean, I know a lot of YouTubers where a lot of these games are not games to them. It's just content. And I don't judge them for it because like they're better businessmen and women than me. But like I cannot look at games that way. I'm like, it's an experience. It's a thing. Like it's but I think a lot of people are increasingly just looking at it as like, oh, new game, new content. Like, what are we doing with content with this? And
right.
people who make shorts think in the same way. And like games are just turning into content and in general by the volume they release in. And so yeah, I definitely feel what you're saying here, Logan. I do have a stronger connection with games that I spend my money on and I own physically than the games that are just in my digital library, because I'll occasionally scroll through and be like, oh yeah, I have that. Interesting. You know, whereas like physical, like I mean, you saw me all episode. I'm pulling shit off my shelf constantly. I'm like, I know I have that. You know, I have a memory with that game.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with Logan.
Yeah.
Unsurprisingly.
I kind of agree with you, Logan. But a lot of stuff you're saying is like this, like, for me, like a lot of like the strong memories is like for which were physical games is like when I was younger, I couldn't get as many games. It's kind of like how you're saying now, Maddie, how a lot of people just treat games as content because there's so many games. I feel like people move on from games much quicker now. It's kind of the saying Logan was saying with the lack of engagement from games now. Because, you know, back in the day, you had a game, you maybe only had a couple, and even if the game wasn't good, you played it because that's all you had. You didn't have any other options. Games weren't as accessible as they are now by any means. I couldn't just fucking download some shit right away like I can now. And I think, yeah, when I think about like when I was younger, I'm like, yeah, I have strong memories like physically, obviously holding that game, which is great because I didn't have as many. But now it's just kind of like I look at like my PS4 games or something like that, my PS3 games. I have so many fucking games. And I don't think there's any stronger attachment to me because they're physical or not from like me remembering the game itself now. But I guess it just depends upon the game, you know? That one game could just be like stand out to you for some reason, the circumstance and how you were given it. Like you were saying your whole story with Mega Man, that could add an effect to it. Definitely. And I do think there is something lost, like not being able to gift someone like a game physically. Like we were saying, we all grew up getting games for gifts. We all love that shit. Like I remember getting Super Nintendo with Zelda packed into it, and it was like, holy shit, that's like a core memory. Yeah. But it's like, you know, you're not really getting that as much now. Like that's starting to go away, gifting people games. And I don't know, like, I guess like, I mean, people like getting gifts. I don't know how much it matters though at the end of the day. Like this couple times a year where it could be really cool. But I don't know. It's like, I wonder what younger kids think about it. Of course, everyone likes getting stuff nowadays, but everything is so, I just wonder what people think about now who are so like ingrained in digital already, what it is like for them compared to us growing up with it. I'm not sure. I'm not saying you're wrong or right or anything like that, but I just don't know if there is something like stronger memories tied to it. To me, it's just like about the game itself and like what was going on in my life at that point, maybe.
Yeah, that's huge contributors too. Yeah.
But I don't know. There could be for you. Like, yeah, maybe just like the act of holding it. I think like a lot of my love for physical games started to go away when they themselves became less appetizing the sense of like the production that would go into the physical game itself, like the manual.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah.
And like what was included. You used to get like bonus stuff with physical games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like we were getting to the point, you know, you get a physical game, there's just nothing in it. Just the game. There's no like nice manual or anything like that. So
just a hollow case, basically.
Yeah, it's like a hollow kind of shell. I mean, it's still cool, like having the graphic. It's cool being able to put on a shelf and like looking at it, and that could trigger memories, which is really cool. I do agree. It's like I could think about a lot more of my old games just by looking at my shelf really quickly instead of me going through like my digital library and scrolling through a bunch of stuff.
Sure.
But I don't know. That's an interesting thought though, Logan. I didn't really think about it from that perspective before. So I guess a long way of me rambling is just me saying I think that is true in some cases, but not all the time.
100%. A lot of indie games benefit, of course, from digital storefronts because, like, you know, just talking about Desktop Explorer, it's like that can become a physical thing. That was the beauty of where we were kind of at, is like let it get out, find its fan base, and they get people like me who like I bought it at launch, and when they do a $40 physical version, I'll buy it again.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's like that's how it goes. I mean, like even Colin does that with his games. You know, they put them out digitally, sell it physically later down the line for the people who want it.
Run. Yeah.
So, as we said, I would like to see that continue. As someone who doesn't play any physical games anymore, I would still like to see it be around. It's cool.
Yeah. I think there's something to be said about a lot of the intangible marketing that you can't really quantify. Like I already talked about the passing down, the discovery, the generational fans that are sometimes created because they got a copy handed to them. But also just seeing things in stores. I don't know, dude. Like, I just think storefront presence is a big thing.
Yeah.
And it sounds like PlayStation's still intent on doing that, but they're doing code in box instead.
Yeah.
It's like, so you're still making cases and like reducing, like, just what the fuck are we doing, man?
They should
like,
just do like the cards like Nintendo and Xbox do then.
That's what I said. I think it's eventually going to go down to like, you're going to go and see like on the DoorDash gift cards, like, here's your code for fucking Halo 7 and then like God of War, whatever the fuck. And you should grab those and redeem those as individual keys or something.
It's like, trust me, dude, I grew up in a great era. I grew up in the 90s. I was born in 87, so I lived through the entire 90s, like fucking Toys R Us and like real toy stores and shit like that. Like, I grew up through that kind of stuff, and that's all kind of gone now, thanks to like Amazon and stuff like that. So it's like, I understand.
There's some stuff that's natural.
Yeah.
Natural part of where we're headed. I think there's some stuff that again, PlayStation, I would be more sympathetic if I saw more reason, but all I see is a company desperately trying to get their profits
maximize profits.
Like,
for sure.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck you guys. I don't give a shit.
All right. Siler wrote and said, hey, Mad and Braddy, I need you two to sell me on one of these franchises, Final Fantasy or Trails. I'm looking for a new JRPG to call home, and both seem appealing, but I can only commit myself to one. Thank you two for being true pillars at LSM. Wow, look at that. Very nice.
Yeah, appreciate that. Brad, we got to do Final Fantasy, right?
Like, yeah, I was going to say, like, okay, so home. I barely have any experience with Trails, but the thing about Final Fantasy is you can hop into one and hop into another one and be completely disconnected and be fine. Trails, is my understanding, is like one giant long
all
saga,
connected,
which is cool. I think there's definitely, like, Kingdom Hearts is exactly like that. I love that kind of stuff. It's cool too. But if you're just getting into the series, I think Final Fantasy is the right option, especially because they're different from each other a lot of times.
So important to experience too.
Yeah.
Just really
they are pillars of the industry, basically.
Yeah.
And there's kind of like a Final Fantasy, I feel like, almost for anyone in terms of like story and themes. Gameplay, of course.
15, a Final Fantasy for everyone.
Yeah, there's
famously so.
Yeah, there's like a lot of different types. So we'll do Final Fantasy, but Matty, where would you say is a good spot for them to start then?
Oh man.
This is a hard ass question.
It really is, because my start to Final Fantasy was so unorthodox and just like, I think by proxy of open-mindedness, I just got like in that way. Like, I would not say, oh, go start with 13 like I did.
Right.
I want something that's like your best chance. Like, obviously 7's a bona fide classic. Like, I'm sure there's a level of like, that'll keep you busy, because you could do 7 and you should play classic 7 because it's foundational to why the remake matters. Not just like, oh, they're recreating things, but like how they build on that story more so. You'll see what we mean when you play that. I think that's super important. Of course, like one of the most important games. So I feel like that's the easiest answer. 10 is a little more approachable because it's like classic turn-based, right? Like 3 party members, turn-based JRPG. And then I got a real soft spot for 12, Brad.
12? Okay.
I love 12.
12 is like, I can't really see 12 being a good entry point, though. Do you know what I mean?
No, I agree. It's too much. There's a lot happening.
It's too much, I think.
And then there's the pixel art era. Like 6 is obviously
6 and 4 are probably the best out of that era. Yeah, I guess Siler, it depends. Like, are you okay with playing a more retro thing? I assume you're listening to the show, so you probably are. Are you okay with like older looking graphics? I think, I mean, 7 is kind of the game that blew up the series for the rest of the world beyond Japan. So that could be a good entry point. It's very accessible. Final Fantasy 7 Remake is a pretty good place to start for your first Final Fantasy, I'd say. You will not get the most out of it unless you've played the original, but it's still a good entry point. I know plenty of people who have played it and haven't played the original and still really enjoy it. Like Lockmort is a great example. No, he played it before, but he's played 7 now. But before, he hadn't played it. Yeah. Just because it is more modern, you still get these amazing characters. You get a really great combat system. But my thing would be 7 if you're more okay with retro graphics. 7, 6, or 10, I think, are probably like the most safe bets.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Nine?
I like your pick of
These are-
12. That's a very interesting pick.
I like to flirt with 12 a little bit because 12 has combat that reminds me a lot of KOTOR.
Oh,
and
sure.
Zodiac Age has a lot of really great quality of life stuff, and the Gambit or
Mhm.
not Gambit, the job system. I forget what it's called, but
The license board.
Yes, I love that shit. That shit's deep.
Yeah.
End game content. That game goes crazy. A lot of stuff to love about 12, but definitely I think high level Final Fantasy. Like that's definitely more advanced. I'll always be a 13 defender. 13-2 is still one of, I think, the best.
13-2 is
games.
very good. Yeah.
But what about 9? We kind of were dancing around 9. And I know your background. You
I
love 9. So
9. I love Final Fantasy 9. Yeah, I mean 9 isn't
boss gauntlet at the end.
9's my second favorite game, so in the series. Yeah. So it's a good recommendation, I think. I just don't know if it's gonna hook you in as much as like games like 7 did or 10 did for a lot of people. I'm just going on based off like what are typically the most popular ones, and they're usually popular for a good reason because people latched onto them. Sure. 9 is a beloved game. Don't get me wrong by any means, but it's not as like beloved, I would say, as like 7, 6, or 10 for that example.
Yeah, for some reason.
It was a late
because it just didn't have
game.
that like. Yeah, I was gonna say it was a late PS1 game, and 10 was like what, a year later.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, so 10 was close. So maybe that's why. But yeah, I love 9, and I think 9 is like kind of like a homage almost to like classic Final Fantasy as well.
Yes.
So maybe that's why. But you can't go wrong with any of those games we listed, basically.
Yeah, I think starting the PS1 era is my suggestion. Now let's talk a little 8.
Okay.
Do we save this for much later in our experience of Final Fantasy? Like once you're in,
I would say you'll play, if you're gonna play the classic ones first, do 7 and 9 first from that PS1 era. Definitely.
Yeah. Dance around 8 for a little bit, would you?
Dance around 8. 8's fine. I don't love 8. I don't hate it. There's things I don't like about it though. I don't. And ring an endorsement, I know, for that game.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just things I don't like about 8, but there's some cool things as well.
Yeah. The way it's balanced and the fact that it had like one of the best stories and then just throws it all away in the second half is they're like that's the thing. Everyone talks about the balancing in 8 and like, yeah, that's a problem. But it really to me is just the fact that like they had such an incredible story building up in that first half. I remember saying one of the artists on my team is like a Final Fantasy 8 lover. I'm like, dude, this story is amazing. She's like, yeah, just like, keep going. And then you just get to this point, you're like, what the fuck happened? It just gets so bad in my opinion. So, but there's a corniness to it and a cheese. I don't know. It just feels it's a very chaotic Final Fantasy. I don't know the development story behind that one, but it feels off, I would say.
Yeah.
They were like, how do we follow up 7?
Yeah.
I think they needed that to happen
Hard
so
task.
that 9 could be the god tier shit.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, following up 7 is like one of the hardest things in gaming ever to do.
Yeah, I agree.
But I would say 7, like you said, 7, 10, 9, or what else did we say? I don't
know. 6.
6, yeah. 6 is like, if you want like that, the original like style Final Fantasy games, the pixel remasters, 6 is probably the best. 6 or 4, I would say. Yeah,
pixel remaster has quality of life enhancements. Definitely play the ports if you can, because they do have those like 9,999 damage.
Yeah, if you get stuck, you don't want to
turning
grind.
Off encounters. Like there's some tuning stuff that not all of them get perfect, or you might just want to be like, oh, I just really like, especially in 9. There's points where I did just flip off encounters because I just love that story so much. I was like, I just want to get to the next beat. So I would like do that, and so you can turn that stuff on, which is very nice to have.
I will say, especially with 7, do not use the cheats as much as possible, though. Especially combat. If you want to turn off encounters, whatever, I'm not less lenient or less upset about that. But the combat system in some of these games are so good. If you do these cheats, you're just going to blitz through them and not really appreciate a lot of the gameplay elements of the games.
Yeah. 7's, it's weird. 7 and 9 share a pretty similar combat system, but 7's like responsiveness and flow is so incredible still to this day. Like not even nostalgia. I played Final Fantasy 7 for the first time in 2012 on my PC. Like that's how I experienced it. And even then I grinded one time. Otherwise though, I did not do much grinding. I didn't skip encounters. Like I love 7 so much, dude. Like that definitely to me is like an ideal starting point, but I think what's more unbelievable is how well everything it's balancing, its encounters, it's fighting like has aged. Normally you go back to those old games and you're like, man, this is pretty old, eh? But like at least I didn't feel like that game was. I thought they did an amazing job with it.
God tier game.
Yeah.
All right. Raisin wrote in and said, with the news that God of War Laufey releases 2 days before early access for Fable starts, I was wondering, how, if at all, does this affect the release of Fable? Air traffic control is getting a little jammed, but assuming Fable doesn't move, we've got God of War Laufey, Fable, Tomb Raider, Legacy of Atlantis, Persona 4 Revival, Metro 2039, and more all in February. One thing is for sure, between Laufey, Fable, and Tomb Raider, your boy's about to put in some overtime at the dick-sucking factory to afford all these games. Damn, dude. You had to get a job there? Holy shit.
Oh, man. Yeah. We need these publishers to realize January exists.
January,
March
please, guys.
Exists. April exists. And I know those other months will fill up, but this is not fucking sustainable. I don't see Fable delaying. I don't think it affects the release at all because I think Fable is way. If I were to wager a guess, I would say Fable's way over budget right now because this is a game that has been in development since like 2018, I think, and it got delayed multiple times already. They delayed to avoid GTA, and fuck it, man, go head to head with God of War. Fable's multi-plat. We'll see how it goes. After all this time, they should have the confidence to go head to head with God of War. I think. I'm not saying it'll do better, but I'm just saying they should have confidence in this thing with the hype it's getting, the attention it's getting. There's no bad press about it. Fans are very excited. Yep. Numbers for the game are very good. Like this is the next big one for them. It's multi-plat. Everyone's on board. You should not be afraid of really any game coming out that month. Fable should, by the amount of time spent on it, be the game that does the best. Will it be? I don't know. But they shouldn't move at all.
Yeah.
They shouldn't move at all. Games like Persona could move. Metro should definitely move. It's been a while since we got Metro. But I think otherwise these, Tomb Raider, God of War, and Fable, I'm sure they are fine to stick.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, it's going to be annoying for us because I'm like, God damn it. Both these games so close to each other. It's going to be annoying.
Yeah. I'm skipping God of War, so there's that.
You're going to full skip it? Full skip?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you play Ragnarok?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, you're out then.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I catch up, then sure, maybe, but I don't really.
Yeah, that's fine.
It didn't look different enough from what I was
sure
already getting to be like, oh yeah, get me in on that. Or I was like, I'll just catch up one day, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I could definitely see it hurting PlayStation sales for Fable. Someone was like, okay, I'm gonna get God of War maybe over that. Is my assumption. But like in terms of Steam, Xbox, I mean, it could hurt people that have multiple things like that, but I think Fable will do fine though. Still, I think actually Fable will do pretty well. Seems like people are pretty excited about it overall. I mean, people are pretty like mixed on Laufey right now, based off what we've seen. But I think it'll do still well regardless.
Oh yeah. There's no doubt that Laufey will do well, and so that's good. With Fable, it's like when I just to be clear with people, when I say should do well, I'm like saying like the amount of money they spent on this, like, and the amount of time and
what we've seen of it.
So much to the point that they're like, we're gonna delay it to spend more money on this and really pick our moment. You got to stick.
Yeah,
like let everyone else run. Again, I think Persona might. I said Persona could run, but Persona could probably stick because there's no other JRPG style stuff coming out that month, and so they got their audience and like. There is no doubt overlap, but I think this is one of those months where probably hardcore players are going to save up for like 2 games.
Yeah,
we'll get 2 games.
Be a couple losers. Yeah.
Oh
man, I was going to say something, but I totally forgot. Oh well. Alas. All right. Final write in here. GOAW wrote said, "Hello, summoners. After selling a rare One Piece card for $5,000 at a local TCG con, damn.
Nice.
I used some of the cash to grab about 10 games from the recent Xbox Ultimate sale. One that stood out is The Sinking City. 2 cool things about it. The recent remaster was given free to original owners. Solid move by the devs. But more interesting is that a sequel is in the works and looks incredible. Basically, Lovecraftian Resident Evil 4. The jump from the first game is huge, yet it's getting almost no coverage this year, and it comes out next month. Anyone played the original or hyped for the sequel? I haven't played these at all, and I haven't seen much of this game at all, so you're correct, Gio. It is getting overlooked, in my opinion.
Do you think it's Lovecraftian Resident Evil 4 type good, or
do I think it's that good? He's
do you
saying.
think it looks that good, or like from the for the sequel?
Oh,
Like,
I don't know. I
he said
haven't seen it. Let
Lovecraft-
me look at this really quick. Let's see what this looks like.
No, I this one's been put on my radar a couple of times when I was like streaming, and I thought it looked really good. It's just there's already so much coming out this coming month that I want to play, like Star Wars Zero Company comes to mind. Like that's like easily been one of my most anticipated games of the year. Blood of Dawnwalker just a little bit after that. So yeah, dude, like pretty fucking stuffed month of good shit. So throwing in like I'm already throwing in some indie stuff to kind of like flavor it up a bit here. So I don't know, throwing in Sinking City. I'd like to, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I just looked at
it depends
this.
a lot on like GTA and how that when they start marketing it, how that resonates, because that either opens up my whole year, or if I'm like, or that shuts it down. I'm like, yeah, I'm in. So
yeah. What is this? So I'm looking at gameplay of this. It looks interesting to me. It looks like why can't I think of it? It had the reboot, the like kind of like one of the first survival horror games, something dark, right? What is it? Alone in the Dark. It reminds me kind of visually what I'm seeing, just the Alone in the Dark remake, which was average or below. I'd say a little below average, basically. And this kind of reminds me of it. And I mean this not, and I mean that not in a bad way. This looks kind of cool, actually. Like walking around, slow paced survival horror. Got a little boat going on there. Could be cool. Maybe depending on how this game reviews is something I'd be interested in. But yeah, I didn't even know this was coming out. So
I'm interested in this strictly because of like the character appearance and everything like that. I know it's very inspired by Final Fantasy, Resident Evil.
Yeah.
But it looks very Evil Within.
Yes. It definitely kind of has that vibe. Not as polished as Evil Within, but there's like some DNA, of course, in there.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks great. Don't get me wrong. Could be an October play for me. Again, it really depends on how things go here for the rest of the year, but it definitely looks pretty good. I know. I remember when I was doing my podcast with ACG, he was big on Sinking City. He's big on like Cthulhu stuff though in general.
Okay.
Yeah, very very cool. Like Roaring 20s.
Yes.
While also being survival horror, Lovecraftian. Really good stuff.
Yeah. So it could be interesting. All right, we'll try to keep an eye on that.
The remaster is when I typed in Sinking City on Steam, the remaster, if anyone's curious about what we're talking about here and you do want to check it out, the remaster is $5 on Steam right now.
Wow.
Yeah. It's on an 85% discount.
Yeah, look at that.
We're trying to get people in.
Yeah.
That was in 2021 is when that came out.
Yeah.
I know Frogwares went through a whole dispute with this game. So
yes, sir. Well, there you go.
There's that.
Okay, cool. Maddie, thanks for joining me. That was a long ass episode. Holy shit. I just realized.
Yeah, bro.
Thanks for
once you said we're ranking Xbox games, I was like, yeah, it's gonna be a 4-hour show for sure. I was like, yeah, we're cooked.
Well, thank you for your patience. I appreciate it, man.
No problem at all.
Great to have you on.
Yeah.
Before we go though, any final thoughts, words, anything like that? Or should we just skedaddle?
Let's see here. I'm gonna have a pastrami sandwich after this.
Ooh, damn.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Love pastrami sandwiches.
I try to be a little tactical with the takeout, like when I'm going, like I knew today I was like, I have a podcast, I have 2 video recordings, I have a team meeting. I'm gonna be going all day. Like a little midday treat for myself to kind of just recharge the batteries.
Yeah.
Get back to it. So
excellent.
I'm looking forward to that. Gonna have that with a little bag of chips and some Joe's tea.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. Nice, dude.
But otherwise, I hope everyone enjoyed, and I'm looking forward to coming back again. I feel like I've not been on this show in a while before this episode.
Yeah, I looked actually. I think it's been like 2 months or something crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
I know you invited me when I was in Florida.
Yeah, you were busy. That's totally fine.
Yeah, that is not your fault. That is my fault. But yeah, I'm very happy to be back, and I'm looking forward to hopping on again.
Yeah. I try to get people on like once a month usually if I can.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's fine, though. We're all good. Thanks, everybody, for
Right on.
watching, listening. Appreciate it, as always. Thank you, Matty, once again. We'll see you guys next week. Take care, and goodbye. Summon Sign is a product of Last Stand Media and Collins Last Stand LLC and is proudly recorded in the USA. The show is written and hosted by me, Brad Ellis. The show is produced by Dustin Furman. All of Last Stand's theme music is by Ramon Nivarez. Summon Sign, along with the rest of Last Stand's media shows, are fan-funded on Patreon at patreon.com/laststandmedia. The following names are at the producer level on Patreon, our highest tier, and we are grateful for your kind contribution and generosity to our independent endeavor. Thank you.